Welcome back to the Dorms podcast. We got a bit of a rebrand going on. We are now Red Light Pictures, and this is a sub-channel thing of Dorms podcast. But kind of wanted an official name for short films and other things that we do. Make ourselves look official. But how you guys doing?
Good, man. Just
ready for the
it is
weekend.
cold, man. I'm freezing. So I got this jacket on.
I haven't left my room since 1 o'clock this morning. 1 o'clock.
Oh my god!
You
I
all
thought
right,
you were.
Miles?
I was like, I swear I saw you today.
I haven't. This is the first time I've been in my room since 10 o'clock. Or not 10, 11.
Yeah, been working
Oh.
all day, bro.
I showed up to work
consumes
this
my
morning.
life.
Showed up to work this morning. My boss was like, "What are you doing here?" I was told to show up at 9 o'clock. He's like, "We got nothing for you to do today. You can go home if you want." Like, all right, bet.
Shit.
So I went out around Powell. Whoa! I just docked myself.
I'll bleep it.
Went around town, taking pictures on my new camera. So it was a
Wait,
fun day.
did I accidentally dock him last podcast? I'm pretty sure I did.
Miles, can you go
Oh,
back and take it off?
100. Oh shit. It's okay. There's only probably
Miles
one
was living in
Powell.
his bedroom.
It's in Powell, Tennessee. That's where I'm at.
Yes, we're all from Tennessee. Definitely not
We
from.
said this. We said the state last podcast too.
Ignore that. We were just
Right.
lying.
Colorado,
Minnesota.
Kansas, but
Wow,
Texas.
we are failing to fucking gaslight these people.
no, we're
Gaslight
not.
Pictures.
I'm
We've been in the Rick
name.
and Morty versions this whole time.
We've been in South Park.
Alright.
South Park, Colorado, baby.
So what are we
Okay,
talking
hold
about
on.
today, boy? What do we got?
Oh, never mind. I was going to talk about the new South Park episode, but we got to get to the news first. And then I want to talk about the new South Park episode.
Okay. First, we're gonna be doing hot takes in every single medium. We did this before with what was it, just movies?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this
I
time,
just thought of a
kind of
hot
branching
take.
out to everything, so I can yell at Matthew for an hour and a half.
Hell yeah.
I just thought of a hot take.
Did you
That
know,
you did.
Matthew?
See, and you were saying,
What?
I don't have any hot takes.
I just thought of
Matthew
it.
said a hot take, and I pushed him in the face.
You're calling yourself out.
Yeah.
Guys, I
think Alright.
Matthew's just dead over there.
All right, let's get into the news. Garrett.
Well, almost a week ago, we pretty much got the Super Bowl trailers, which was 12 of them, right? If I'm not mistaken.
What else happened a week ago?
Me.
Puppy Bowl.
Who the fuck cares about that?
Garrett,
No, Miles,
We're
we
gonna get
talked
that-
about this before.
We're gonna get that one angry mom comment.
We're a year into the podcast.
Oh yeah, we're a year into the podcast. By the time this comes out, our almost third episode will be 1 year old.
That is pretty insane.
He keeps trying to say 2 years.
Well, dude, I swear to God, I do, because our first episode came out on February 2nd, 2022. So it's all
Still
twos.
1 year.
Now
Okay.
that's weird as hell.
What?
All right. What other news, Miles?
That's
I'm
crazy.
gonna pronounce their name wrong, but it's Emma Corrin.
Corbin?
No, it's Corrin. There's no B.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Corbin.
They
Corbin.
joined
Corbin Blue.
Deadpool 3, possibly as a
As the
villain.
villain.
We don't know.
It got confirmed.
It got confirmed that they were the villain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty dope.
I mean, I'm not familiar with their work, so I have no idea.
I'm just excited for Deadpool 3. So,
Yes, sir.
Same.
See Hugh Jackman.
oh, he's getting big.
Big.
Did you see
He's
the
100%
pictures?
taking some trend, but he's looking
Oh.
big.
He's definitely on
Only-
roids. There's no way
like-
he's not.
He's like
He's 50
55.
years old.
If you look
and
at the
that
difference
big,
between
no
what
way.
was it, November, and then him like last
Now
week,
it's insane.
it's like a 5-inch
Impossible.
difference.
Well, wait, would you say J.K. Simmons with his shit is taking
No.
Yes.
that?
Yes, they're
he's
probably
almost-
all on
what is he,
roids.
almost 20 years older than fucking Hugh Jackman?
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't think they're probably not all on roids, but they're probably taking a little bit of something here and there.
I mean,
Just
the Rock,
small
is.
doses.
Not Liver King
Yeah, they're
wise,
small
but
doses.
like we're talking like little baby
Oh
doses.
yeah, definitely not Liver King.
$12,000 a month on trend.
Wild.
Bro,
That's wild. We got
12 grand.
it's weird because we also got on Valentine's Day our first look at Joker 2.
Also fire.
Looks pretty
Such
cool.
such a perfect day to drop that photo too.
Mhm.
Right?
Such a shitty holiday.
That's a hot take from Garrett.
For 3/4 of us.
Oh yeah, there's a fucking hot take for you. Valentine's is ass.
You spend money. You don't even have a girlfriend.
Well, the thing is like, it's like, I mean, why can't you just buy this person a gift any other day of the year? Why does it have to be the 14th of February?
It's like, what is it, International Women's Day? Why isn't
Yeah,
every other day of the year
international?
celebrate?
Also, we're
Get
also
one day.
celebrating. We're also celebrating the murder of a saint because Saint Valentine was murdered. So
I know
that's
that.
pretty insane.
I don't know the lore.
Anyways.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, fuck love. That's all I'm saying.
Lord.
We got a live action How to Train Your Dragon in the works, apparently.
No.
Yeah, I know. It's sad.
Okay, I'm not excited for this, but the only saving grace to it is the director of How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
But it's animated.
Yeah,
It's gonna
be
look
live
good.
action.
It's gonna look good, but look, they're gonna CGI the dragons probably.
If it looks
There's
the
no
way
such thing as
Avatar
real
does,
dragons, Garrett.
Well, of course, I know that.
Garrett, if it looks the way the Avatar Way of the Water does, it'll be good.
Well, yes, of course, but they're not. But like Avatar people
Bro
are
had a
Avatar people are
stroke.
CGI. Did you hear that?
What's
Is
that mean?
that
It's like,
Jimmy from
it-
South Park?
Listen,
Damn.
listen. That's the fellas
Oh,
coming out of me right there. That's all
Oh,
that is.
That's what that is.
That's all that is. That's just coming
Yeah,
straight out.
dude. One of these episodes,
will
I'm gonna
say
make
that-
sure Cartman intros our podcast.
I will say, if they're gonna start making animated movies live action, the only one that I'll be
Right.
angry if they do, well, I'll be angry about a lot of them, but most of all, Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, I will cry.
How the hell are you gonna make that live action?
It's just
I mean,
Jack
dude,
Black
look at
painted
Lion
half
King.
black and
Look
half
what they did
white.
to Lion King.
So they're just gonna make it look like realistic animals? That's gonna be so weird. I picture they're just gonna get DreamWorks to like do that.
For a monkey.
They're just gonna cut like
Oh, you got okay.
cut their voice
you gotta bleep
actors
that
and like
much.
color them like their
It's
characters.
important to know that Garrett is actually black.
Yes, that's very important. So that's just extremely funny.
He is?
Yeah, but Kung Fu Panda would look horrific live action.
Wild.
Master
I need to-
Oogway? That'd be
Yo,
crazy.
Shifu would look so
Okay,
crazy.
but
Garrett
Kai
would be
coming
like
in with the
Shifu?
chains, like the
Oh.
jade chains, that could
Okay.
look dope.
Now Kung Fu Panda in the Way of the Water style would be sick.
Fire.
If they fully CG'd.
Yeah.
I just hope this doesn't become a trend, because I know Disney's been doing this for like the past 10 years, but
Well, yeah, like
don't
they started
start
with,
doing other stuff.
They started with the first Cinderella in like what 2016,
It was
something
pretty
like that.
early, yeah.
Yeah, and then ever since then they were dropping it, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And the thing is, like, they don't change anything. Like, Lion King is just
Bro.
shot for shot Lion King.
It's so weird because me and Matthew were literally we weren't talking about live action How to Train Your Dragon, but we were talking about How to Train Your Dragon in DreamWorks and how great it is. And then they
we
do
were
this
watching
shit.
Kung Fu Panda tribute.
And then they do this shit to us.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Kung Fu Panda 3 score soundtrack by Hans Zimmer is
Bro, that
elite.
movie's just wild. Kai's
It's
an insane
elite.
villain.
Kai's
Yeah,
arrival.
Kai is so good, bro.
I hit
I
the
don't know
gym
if he's-
every day, and I jump rope in the gym, right? I put that shit on, and I feel like Kai.
You're a
What about
cornball.
the whistle?
I
What
am.
about Jeff's whistle from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish?
Death? Oh.
Yeah, the death. Bro, oh my! Him and Kai are insane villains.
I saw a video today where it was a Family Guy clip, and it just kept playing, and then I think someone was like playing the piano or something, and it turned into Death's whistle, and then it just turned into a Death edit.
What the hell?
But like 80% of it was Family Guy, and then it turns into an edit out of nowhere.
What the
I
hell?
think I saved that one. It's
Weird.
funny. What other news, Miles?
Final bit of news: Kevin Feige is planning on reworking the entirety of Phase 5 and 6, so we get less projects per year, but it'll last a lot longer.
This year, Disney
Almost like they should have done that last time.
Well, from what I
think-
understood, they wanted to make up for COVID, but it was at that point 2 years ago.
They just shoved it in one.
So you could have done
I
it
mean,
over the
3
span of like
years
3
ago.
years.
And
In a
after
month,
looking at
it'll be
their-
3 years since COVID.
That's pretty insane. March 13th for me is like to the day that
Yep.
our school got canceled.
Yeah.
I think it was the same here.
But Garrett got
What? You mean the same day, not the same year?
He said same here.
It was the same year, bro.
I thought he said
I
same
kid
here.
you not. I kid you not, Garrett. Same year.
not
Really? Ben's like, I don't know. COVID hit for me in 2019. It was a little early.
Yeah.
Bro,
You guys
it
are
was
Got
running
on
on
the train
Excel
early.
or Explorer.
That all for the news?
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot. The stuff that was there was
yeah.
kind of not interesting. So
Just trailers. Cool trailers.
Yeah.
but
Bro,
trailers.
oh my god. I watched a scene from the Flash trailer today,
Which
and
one?
I got spoiled.
I told you.
What do you mean?
Christian Bale is in.
no, he's not. He
Flash.
is
No, he's
not.
not. Are you
He's
are
not.
you
Yes, he is.
actually dumb?
That is his bat suit and his bat bike.
No, it's not.
No, it is not.
It is literally
You're
Ben
actu-
Affleck, dude.
You're actually dumb.
It's not. That's
is.
too small to be Ben Affleck.
No, it's not. It's a different universe. It can be literally
Ben
whoever it
Affleck
needs
is
to be.
massive.
Dude, you can also only see a bike and the cowl. You don't see anything much else.
Dude, look
There's-
at it
there's
again,
two
Matt.
different
Look
scenes.
at it again. You can look at the behind the scenes pictures
then
that
there's-
dropped last year in
there's
September, and it
people
is Ben
saying-
Affleck.
There's other people saying that Christian Bale is in the movie.
Oh yeah, who's
In
this
the
other people
post-credit
from?
scene.
Who are you
They're
talking to
okay.
besides me?
No, hold up. They're
No,
saying
not the post credit
no.
scene. There's like
They're saying he's in the
I don't know
post-credit
what I
scene to
seen
set him
earlier.
up as the new DCU Batman, which I find to be the
not
biggest
what I seen
stretch
earlier.
ever.
Yeah, James Gunn has already confirmed that's not happening.
Yeah, so
That's
there's
what
no
I
way
seen
they're
earlier.
confirming him for that movie.
There's Matthew's hot take. He
It
doesn't know
was-
how to watch trailers.
no. What I'm talking about
He
is
doesn't know how to
like
shuffle out the
people-
wrong news.
Like I was seeing, not news clips, but like
Trailer clips.
no, like web. Not dumb.
WebMD. He was looking at
Webcams.
WebMD.
Articles. Web articles.
Webtoons.
Bro is looking at his symptoms.
It's not Christian Bale. First of all, Christian Bale has said he will not come back to Batman unless Christopher Nolan is a part of it somehow.
That'd be dope.
No, it wouldn't.
He doesn't want to do it without Christopher Nolan's blessing, or Christopher Nolan is directing.
Oh.
Ball.
All I'm saying is, if we're harping on Matthew, but if he turns out to be right, I'm gonna punch myself in the fucking nuts.
If it turns out to be right, I'm gonna walk out of the theater.
I don't know, dude. Like he showed me it earlier, and I was like, I don't know. It kind of does. Like the bike for me. The bike looks like
The
for
bike?
most.
Is
suit
kind
I
of
don't
similar.
build.
The suit I don't get to see
No,
it.
not
Like,
the
you don't get to
suit,
see it
just
for
the
enough.
build of him.
But you didn't really
But
get
it's
to
an
see him.
Affleck
It's like
suit. You
it's
see
like a
the
full
cowl.
second.
Different clips.
it's like a
There's a
full
clip from
second.
in front of him and then a clip from behind.
Wait, hold
Miles,
up.
can you pull up a picture of that?
I can pull up one on my phone because I'm recording. But
Here, I'll do it.
you do it. Send it to the chat, and that way we can all. Or Matthew, why don't you send it to the chat? That way you can, like, actively see. That way we can actively see what you're talking about.
Bro, this charger's not working. And it's
Is it?
Damn.
Wait, Matthew. Is it the red? Is it the blue and gray suit? Is that the one that you're
All right,
thinking?
No,
Matt,
it's
you
all
ready for
black.
this? You ready for this?
Bum, 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 bum,
it's on
bum,
the
bum,
chase
bum.
scene where the car flips.
Yep. Look at this.
That's Ben
It's in the
Affleck.
general.
Honestly, like
You put it in Gen Chat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Ben Affleck, dude.
That's Ben Affleck. Look at the cowl.
Hold on.
And
I'm not
look at the
cow guy,
symbol.
so
Look at the symbol. That's Ben Affleck's symbol. And the amount of straps he has on him. I will admit,
that-
the bike is
is-
kind of similar.
is that Ben Affleck's chin though?
No,
No,
it's a
that is
stunt
100%. That's not Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I know.
double. Dude,
I
Matthew's doing
mean-
hardcore work. He's looking that shit
Well,
up.
it definitely doesn't look like Christian Bale's Batman. It's
But I
too
will
like
say they color
this suit's
graded
too
it because he doesn't
armory.
have the blue here. Because
yeah.
this was last year.
Well, 'cause didn't they
behind
do
the
a
scenes.
bunch of
They've been
been-
doing reshoots for like the past 2 years.
Yeah, dude.
They're
They've had
still
to
cutting
add.
stuff.
They've had to add, cut. They've had to do so much shit with this movie. So I don't know what's gonna be happening.
I will say it does look good.
I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be received whether it's amazing or not. You know what I mean? Just because of the situation.
Right.
Yeah,
But I have
Give me a
But
second.
I
I'm
can
in the
respect
boat
it
of
as a
like
movie
a
to
lot
me.
of people that you shouldn't like boycott a movie just because of one actor, because we know that there's thousands of people that work on that stuff. It's just
Like
unfair
from
to
there,
them.
you can't tell that's Ben Affleck.
yes, you
I can.
can. Just zoom in.
I'm a Ben Affleck fan, okay? Also, you like how it's like fake wheels in the front and there's like an actual motorcycle under the shell?
I didn't even realize that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's got dots so you can animate the actual. Yo, there's
Yeah.
a subway on the side. Nice.
Yeah, well, even just like the goggles on the first picture, it's definitely Ben Affleck because he has very similar visors in Justice League.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
from
definitely
the
getting rid of the goggles though.
from the
I'm sure
side,
that's
it's
just for
completely different.
stunts.
I fucking
From the
hope so, bro.
From the side, the bike looks nothing like Christian Bale's.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe because it's not.
Mic drop.
But no,
Mic
I'm
drop.
saying like from the front and the back, it looks like Christian Bale's, but then you see it from here.
From every angle except the angle that matters, it looks like Christian Bale. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Oh, the
All right.
back tire's real.
No other news?
Nope. Not that I found interesting, at
That's
least.
it.
You guys want to get into hot takes now?
Of course. What the?
Who wants to go first?
Mm,
Garrett.
damn, okay.
Okay, you can call me out.
Matthew's that kind
I
of guy.
always
Glad.
go first.
Oh,
No.
Garrett wants to read.
I
Garrett
always
wants.
go first. Y'all are like, Matthew, you want to go first?
No, you don't. It's
Do it.
always you three who go first, and I get picked sometimes. So, but Garrett
Okay,
should
I
still
have a
go.
hot take. That's so. This isn't one I planned, but we were talking about it earlier because Ben brought up Kung Fu Panda, how Hans Zimmer's soundtrack is amazing. I guess a hot take for me. I don't know how hot this is though. I think that Incredibles soundtrack is the best soundtrack of any animated movie I've ever seen.
No, that's James Bond.
Bum, bum, bum.
It's actually close though.
Hell no.
I will say, I don't think that's hot.
Bum, bum,
I can see how he thinks it's a hot take.
bum, bum.
It's
Dude,
it's
every
one
time
that's
I
not
listen to
talked
it-
about.
Every time I listen to it, you feel so dapper. You just feel like you're about to put on a nice suit.
Nah, bro. The Pink Panther theme song.
That's a fucking hot
just,
take.
just the theme song. Just.
What the hell, Matthew?
Think about it. That's like Matthew saying the animated Hobbit movie from the 70s.
I don't even like The Hobbit, so
Yeah, so what'd you?
That's another hot take.
that is kind.
That's
a
a
hot take.
mild. It's a mild take.
I don't know. I think
Those are hated.
I think
No, you want to know a hot take? I don't like Harry Potter.
That's
that's
a
a
hot
hot
take.
take.
That's
You
a
are-
steaming take.
You were the 1 out of 10 people in a group that doesn't like Harry Potter.
You're the one in
doesn't
every
like Harry
10.
Potter.
You're the one in
Harry
every
Potter.
10 dentists who doesn't recommend the toothpaste.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not really rocking with this flavor of mint.
Have you been flossing? No. Okay.
Got a
I
fly.
can't stop.
That's a hot one. But why?
Yeah, I would like to preface that Matthew before this episode said that he has no hot takes, and he's
I
just said
forgot about
one
Harry
The most
Potter.
bonkers
stupid hot
take.
take.
I forgot about Harry Potter.
You forgot about
Okay.
everything.
But Matthew, why don't you like Harry Potter?
I'm just not into magic stuff like that.
Okay, I would like to also say that I'd like to say that he's never even seen a Harry Potter movie.
No,
So
I
he's
have.
basic-
I fall asleep during them because they are that boring to me.
Okay, tell me what happens in them then.
I don't know because I don't. I
To
fell
a certain
asleep.
extent, I'm watching through the Harry Potter movies right now. They can be boring.
There's no doubt that can
The
be boring.
first movie, the first half of it, I was rocking with. Second half, I was snoozing.
Yeah, like they
What are
got
you
to the
doing? What are you?
they got to the what are they called? Not
The traps?
no, the 4 houses.
I got to the picking of the houses and fell asleep.
You got
That's like
30 minutes
30
into the
minutes
movie.
Also, none of that is boring. It's like the best part of the first movie. That and the end of it.
And then
No,
also,
okay. The ending of the first movie is not good.
And then I remember my uncle.
I just watched it a week
the
ago.
Deathly Hollows.
That is a hot take. The ending of the first one is so good. Without the ending of the first one, you don't get anything for the second one.
Dude, the ending of the first one is like, dude shows up. He's like, I'm actually Voldemort. First of all, it's set up, right? But then he just dies because Harry touches him. And the explanation is
Love.
Dumbledore comes up and he's like, seems like you just touched him and he disintegrated. And the explanation is just what happened.
Okay, wait, hold on. When you finish it, go back, it'll make sense. Because I know Miles is looking at my screen like they don't know what happened.
I haven't seen the movies in like years, so I'm going through the whole series.
Well, it's weird
I'm not
because
stupid,
I've
Miles.
been.
There's a deeper explanation. Right?
Do you want to know the explanation? It's because
I know what it is. I think I know what it
because his
is.
mom sacrificed herself, and so therefore it's protective shield.
Yeah, I know that.
So think about it like the Wakandan shield in Infinity War, where like the creatures are
Why
going
is
through a
that
burning
the explanation?
because they burn up and die.
Example. Think about these.
It works. It makes sense.
You could just
It makes
think of a force
sense.
field. Think of the Wakandan
Violet's
force field.
from Incredibles.
Exactly, homie. I'm correct.
All right.
I know my Harry Potter lore.
No, but I
Dude.
still think that's I still think it's a hot take because the ending of the first one is so good.
I think the first one, I think I gave it an 8-1.
I would agree with you if you said that it's probably the weakest ending of them all because the rest of them all have very good endings.
Far, it is.
I don't think that's too hot of a take.
I think the first movie is a kids movie.
Well, yeah,
it
that's
is 1,000% a kids movie, and then everything just changes. Second
After the
one is like
third one.
gradually, and then
the reason why the second one is the longest, in my opinion, I don't know how true this really is, but to me, the reason why I think it's the longest is because there's so many small details they put in there to add up to the next 6 books.
yeah.
So they just say, fuck it, let's make it as long as we can, fill as much information and clues, and then the other 6 will provide the answers. Now, there could be some elaborate idea like, oh, actually, it's just because we got lazy and we didn't want to cut shit. Now, if that's the answer, that'd be funny as hell.
I mean, on the trend of Harry Potter, somebody mentioned earlier that we shouldn't boycott a movie, but yet people are boycotting a video game.
Yeah,
why is it getting boycotted?
Because of J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the thing is, do you want to know something? She has not been involved, but she hasn't been involved with Harry Potter stuff since like 2012 when Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out. Besides the Cursed Child, that's the last thing she has like rights to. Like the books, that's her own shit. But video games, that's a separate company without her. Not even then, not really. She barely did anything. They just used the name Fantastic Beasts.
Right.
Yeah.
And she still gets royalties from everything, but it's
that's
kind of
true,
absurd for going after
Just
people
with the
for
name.
playing a game just because she's a bad person. Like, it's not the people playing the game's fault. She's just a bad person.
She got to learn to separate the art from the artist, man.
Yeah, and people just aren't doing that.
Yeah.
For real, yeah.
And it's a
But
game.
also-
I mean, like, if
I
you
also-
don't want to play it because of that, just don't play it. Why does everyone else have to be affected?
Yeah. I also did hear the game wasn't that fun, though.
No, I've heard it's fun. I've heard it's pretty damn fun.
Or not that it wasn't fun, that it just doesn't look good. Like, the graphics aren't as amazing as they should be.
Yeah.
Oh, because people are playing on the highest settings with crappy ass consoles.
Well, no, even the computers.
Dude,
Like, it doesn't look good.
I guarantee you if I bought it on my computer right now, I think I can run it just fine and it would look fine. Just me though.
Because you can't get it on the Xbox One or the PS4.
Probably because it's a new gen game.
Yeah, so
That makes sense though.
Is that it for Harry Potter hot takes?
Yeah, well, I was going to just kind of bleed into it because we're talking about consoles. We might as well bring up probably one of the most controversial topics. Xbox or PlayStation. Personally, I think Xbox is superior in every way, which apparently that's a hot take, but I just don't think the only thing
one's not more superior than the other.
the
Yes, they are.
PS5 interface is the best interface that I've ever seen, but the Xbox S and the Xbox Series X or whatever they're called is still a better console for sure.
Like they both have their strengths, but they both have weaknesses.
Look, I could have
Oh,
gone
yeah.
either way. The only reason I chose Xbox is because that's what I've always been playing on, and that's what my friends have. I have no preference. It's just what I'm used to.
Yeah, I played on PlayStation for
But
like
I think
2 years.
PlayStation might
Was not a
have the
fan.
better exclusives.
Oh, that's a given fact, dude.
Yeah.
With God of War and The Last of
Uncharted,
Us,
Yeah.
Uncharted.
Last of Us,
I think they have
Spider-Man.
better narrative story exclusives.
But I mean, Xbox does have Cuphead, so
Yeah, that's a plus. But Xbox has a lot of like good exclusives, but not a lot of them are as deeply story driven like God of War, Last of Us, Uncharted, shit like that.
got
do-
Halo. But like Halo hasn't been good in years.
Yeah.
I do like the fact though that I think the
Far
Xbox
Cry, right?
Game Pass, I think that is definitely better than
What's
whatever
carrying it right now?
whatever the
The
fuck is
PlayStation Plus?
PlayStation Plus. Yeah, that bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
Have
way
you heard
waste
what
of time,
Xbox is
money.
going to be doing next, or like they're thinking about? Is
making movies.
they're gonna change. You have the option of the Game Pass, which you pay for, but then they're also gonna do a Game Pass which you don't pay for, but it has ads and it's free. Which I don't think is a bad move.
What do you
If
mean?
you pay
Wait, hold
it,
up. What do you mean ads?
you can get commercials
Yeah.
before you start the game or something like that.
Oh,
What
I don't
the
think.
fuck?
No, hear me out. I don't think
Fuck
that's.
no.
I don't think that's bad.
No, that's bad. That is
Free-
terrible.
Free
Everyone should sell their
library of
Xbox.
games, and all you have to do is watch like a 30-second video
Nah,
instead of
dude.
paying $15 a month for
Or
most
just-
games you don't play.
but with Xbox, you have the quick resume, so you wouldn't have to deal with that every time.
But it's only for certain
okay.
games though. Not all games have
Yeah.
quick resume.
No, all games have quick resume.
No,
Uh-huh.
only the ones that I had played, I didn't have it on all of them. It was like Hitman 3 and all the
Well, if
story-driven
you
games.
close the game, yes,
Now, there is.
it will leave your quick resume.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't played on my Xbox since.
I haven't touched my Xbox in
November.
over a month now.
Yeah, I haven't touched my Xbox in a while. It's just sitting in a box in my closet.
I've been only messing with my PC and Switch.
Well, to be fair,
I am not a
fucking-
gamer, so that's why I sold my Xbox.
Well,
So me, I'd get pissed if it had ads before it. Oh, I'd be so mad.
Well, because I mean,
Yeah,
I would just figure out a
I
way to
think it's a-
download like an ad blocker.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just thought about it, and Ashton and Seth were saying it too. Like, it's not that bad. You walk out of the room and Seth was saying that.
yeah, like
But just the idea of it is so.
I mean, you already have
aggravating.
to wait through like the studio pictures and stuff.
yeah, it's just
Yeah, I
a
guess
couple
so.
more seconds.
I
I
guess
think
so.
for a free library of games,
For over 200 games, yes.
I think it's a steal compared to like $15 a month for Game Pass.
But you also get gold, and it gives.
Yeah, but then you can
EA
just pay,
Play.
you could pay for gold for a cheaper price and get
No, you
this
can't.
No, you can't. You have to just buy it right there.
Gold for a whole year is $60.
okay,
That's
and
not
you can still get a
bad.
month.
That's $5 a month. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But
I
then
think it's a better deal.
Oh,
you're
thinking about it
For
retrospectively,
someone who
yes, it's a
doesn't
great
play
deal.
that many games off of the Game Pass, I think it's a better deal.
Yeah. Retrospectively, yes, it is.
I mean,
but
think
like
about it. How many games did you realistically play on your Xbox? Like on a weekly basis, how many games? 3 or 4?
1,
1 to 4?
Two.
Skate 3.
Maybe 3 different games, and I don't think any of them are from Game Pass.
The only one that I played was Skate 3, and it was on Game Pass because you have to have EA Play.
Yeah. I've only been playing Overwatch 2 and Fortnite, and sometimes Minecraft.
And
Minecraft's a Game Pass one.
and all 3 of them are
Yeah, but I already
free.
owned Minecraft beforehand, so I don't get it from that.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I think they're all. I mean, it's just overpriced anyways, and so
Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't mind with the Xbox thing, but
Honestly, I'm honestly a little surprised though because they're trying to like you would think they'd still be wanting to make a profit, and the Game Pass makes them a lot of profit. So it's funny that they do this because you
I mean,
would think that they would lose a lot of profit.
Because it's
They also
cheaper to
get
do,
money from ad revenue.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
but it's
But do you think?
literally-
Yeah, they'd yeah, they'd probably make more money from ad revenue
it is
because of
cheaper
how
to
many
do.
people are playing it.
It is cheaper to do Game Pass Ultimate than it is to do Gold and Game Pass at the same time.
Yeah,
Why would you do Game Pass Gold and
And gold,
because some people don't know.
well, and plus, okay,
which is weird because it's like right there.
isn't Gold like the you get 3 games a month type of deal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
And just
also
like
so you can play online.
hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Name one time you've played any of the games on the Gold Game Pass thing.
Well,
I
it's
been
used to
years.
play them. Yeah,
but you need gold for online play, like to
Yeah.
talk with your
That's
buddies
what
and
I'm
stuff.
saying. And so,
That's
like,
where they
one
get
thing
you.
PlayStation has over Xbox is it's free
Yeah.
to play online.
Free. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, to be
Fuck, if Xbox had free online, bro, it'd be perfect.
yeah. Well, and it sucks
why
because
I
Xbox-
their revenue is fucking garbage without the Game Pass. Because I remember hearing that with the Game Pass alone, that's what helped them like boost their fucking numbers last year because of how many people use the Game Pass.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's a good idea. So
Right.
All right, Miles, say a hot take. Miles, Matthew's like
Miles.
hottest
Um,
one.
I'll tell the one that I told Ben last night. I don't think Henry Cavill is a great Superman.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I also don't think we had a good Superman. I don't think any of the actors have been good Supermen.
That's the hottest take.
Yeah.
That
what
is
is
the
the-
hottest take.
No, I can kind of agree with
Christopher-
Garrett.
What's the one playing?
Christopher
Okay.
Reeves, Tyler
Well,
Hoechlin.
Compared to
Tyler
our
Hoechlin.
Batman actors, compared to people that played
What
the
do you-
Flash, compared to people,
Tyler Hoechlin is a good Superman.
is that
He
the
is
dude from
the best
Superman and
Superman.
Lois?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Christopher Reeves.
Okay,
Superman
well, I've
from
never
the
seen that show.
70s.
So I'm only basing it off of
Perfect.
everyone but that show.
Okay, if we're,
So
if we're
you're
talking,
basing it off movies.
if we're talking
Just
all
everything's a show,
Superman
so
like
whatever that is.
material, like from the movies, Tyler Hoechlin is probably the best.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
correct.
But
I mean,
saying Henry Cavill sucks, I think is.
But the
We talked
people
about
out
this
there-
yesterday. I think it's kind of rude because he didn't get an honest chance with the
Yeah.
writing he was given. Because every
Well, yeah,
single
okay.
thing he was in was the writing. It was never his fault.
Okay, I will say this though: the writing, yes, plays a big part because obviously that's their entire material is what is being written.
Right.
Mhm.
But an actor's job is to take whatever material they're given and make the best of it. Whether they're writing is shit or not, you have to give a performance. I disagree in the sense that he sucked. I think he's actually a really good actor. I just don't think he was a good Superman just because that wasn't the role he was meant to play. I really don't think so. So I gotta think like if he's as good as the actor as I think he is, then maybe he just performs it a little different. But I do understand how shit the writing was, Ben, because
I
you were
think with
telling me
an-
about it.
With an honest effort,
think you can make
he
a
could have
case for
been
both.
great. But he had so much potential because he has the perfect aesthetic. It's just he was given just Jesus metaphors in every single script he was in, and it's not what Superman is.
I think you can really make an argument for both, just because exactly what you just said. That's fucked. That it's just like a metaphor for the faith and stuff.
Yeah.
But
But that's
but I
Zack
also think, like-
Snyder's thing. He always does that in every single thing he does.
well, yeah, I know. But like, okay, but think about it like this though.
But
This is
I'll
gonna
get into
sound-
Snyder soon.
this is gonna sound weird, but like Leonardo DiCaprio didn't want to say the N-word in Django, but Tarantino was like, you should say it. And Leo looked at it as a performance standpoint, and he went out and he killed the role and he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe that's a very uncomfortable thing, and he obviously didn't want to say it, but he has to do it. So he gave the performance, and it was a great performance. He
Right.
performed that part well. So I think that's where it's like,
Didn't
I
Sam Jack
feel like-
also just yell at him to say it?
no.
I swear
Huh?
I seen some like
Quentin took him into the room and he basically yelled at Leo. But I didn't really like yell at him. He was just like give him the motivation to be like,
Like,
get
he-
angry and then just say the word basically. But I'm not trying to compare Leo and Henry Cavill. I'm comparing
Yeah.
the scenario of like, if this is your career, you should make the best of what you're given, even if it's not the greatest shit.
And
And
I think with
obviously
what
he didn't perform as well. So
I think he translated exactly what was written. He just didn't change enough to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very
Um,
robot Superman. He didn't. There was not a lot of emotion with his character. I feel like
Mhm.
Yeah, but he was not written with emotion.
that's the thing. That's what makes Superman a part of what makes Superman interesting is his humanity plus his emotion.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, like Henry Cavill in Fallout is great, so we know it's not his acting, obviously.
Yeah.
You know.
I will carry this on into Snyder for my hot take. I like Snyder. I don't like Snyder
Ooh.
fans.
Like, are you saying like you like his like what
I
he's producing and shit? You don't have anything wrong with
I
it?
think Snyder is a really good director. I think he's a bad writer. And I think Snyder fans are the worst set of not okay, I'm not going to say worst set of fans cuz there's obviously Star Wars fans out there. But
My Hero fans out there.
And you're
okay, but
both,
that's not as
Matthew.
bad as Star Wars. We'll get to Star Wars fandom soon because I have that on my list. Okay.
No. My Hero fans are so
Dude,
much worse than
fan
Star Wars
base
fans.
bullied a guy on a bridge until he almost killed himself.
Yeah.
Who did?
The guy who plays Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
My Hero
didn't know
fans
that.
just try to ship two characters together.
Yeah, they're weirdos.
I can live with that. I can't
But
live
that's
with
not a
Star
bad fandom. Yeah, a fandom is that like what Ben just said, basically almost committing assisted suicide. It's
The
crazy.
My Hero fandom is just cringy.
They're just a bunch of 14-year-old weeaboo bitches.
But I'm gonna get into Star Wars fans soon. But I'm gonna say Snyder fans are just so annoying because they want this shit to continue, even though it's ass.
Yeah.
The only reason I wanted the Snyder cut to come out, and I told Miles this last night, is because he had a tragedy in his family, and then the studio fired him and rewrote his entire movie and made it ass. The only reason I wanted it to come out is so that he can have some closure on the tragedy that happened in his family and can actually get his piece of art out. I wanted to end there. There is nothing else. Every other plan that he has for Justice League sequels is garbage.
Dude, okay.
Because he has Lois Lane cheat on Superman with Batman until they have a daughter who grows up to be Batgirl.
What?
Not even
That was the
close to what
plot.
happened.
That was the plot point.
What?
Oh, and I also like to point out, I told Matthew this the other day. I think even Zack Snyder coming back and seeing his full potential, I think it makes the Snyder cut worse because it's the same fucking movie. All he did was change the aspect ratio and color grade
It
it.
is not the same movie.
The acting is just as bad as the first one. You cannot tell me it's not. They are all bad at their thing.
Are you actually dumb?
Henry, same thing. Ben is probably the only good. Ben Affleck is probably the only good actor in that movie.
Ray Fisher? Ray Fisher.
Okay,
don't know who
I
that
won't even
is.
lie to you.
I don't know who Ray Fisher
I forgot Cyborg was in the movie.
Cyborg. Okay, Cyborg
Oh.
was garbage in the original Justice League because they cut 80% of his scenes because the studio is racist and they called him out for it and they fired him, right? But then you get Zack Snyder's Justice League and Ray Fisher's Cyborg becomes the heart of the movie and the best character in that movie.
It is literally, but okay, I won't even lie. I forgot that he was in the movie because that's. But I'll agree with that bit. But my point still stands: is that the movie is pretty similar to the first one. Yes, it is. The acting alone cannot save that movie. Adding shit cannot save that movie.
But it did.
But it didn't. The acting is still garbage. His writing is still garbage.
I'm not saying it's a fantastic movie, but it is leagues better than the original and is so
I wouldn't say leagues.
leagues.
It's better, but it's not that much better.
It's
I
way
don't know
better.
about leagues.
I would say
That's
if
a hot
you're,
take from
if you're
Justice
talking
League.
like that, it is the Justice League is one of the ballparks, and the Snyder Cut is like the next ballpark nearby.
Justice League sucks and is awful, and Joss Whedon is bad.
I don't disagree there.
The Snyder Cut is Justice League took the Snyder Cut and tried to make it the Avengers with stuff that was already shot, so the tone is completely shifted every other scene, whereas the Snyder Cut is the same through and through. You might think it's a boring movie, and let's be honest, it's pretty boring at times because it is 4 hours and 12% of the movie is slow motion.
Okay,
But
you
I
can't-
will
you
watch the
cannot
Snyder
tell
Cut
me.
17 times more than I
You're
will
not
watch
helping your
Justice
case,
League.
buddy.
I'm not watching either.
I'm not saying
again.
it's a great movie. I've never said it's a great movie. I'm saying it is a great movie compared to Justice League.
But I never mentioned the. I said it.
Justice.
I just said the fucking
Justice League.
Snyder Cut is a bad movie. I don't think it's.
It-
I was never comparing it to the. I don't think. I think they're very similar, not tone wise,
Bro.
but the acting is still going to be bad.
They're acting.
Ray Fisher and Ben
Whose
Affleck are the
acting
only.
is bad.
Gal Gadot, Ezra
She's
Miller.
always just mid in everything she does. It's
Ben
not
Affleck-
just this
Ben
movie.
Ben Affleck may be a good Batman, but in this movie he is. Henry Cavill in this movie is. Ray Fisher's probably the only good actor that you mentioned in this movie, who
Okay,
has
even-
main star, like the main stars. Obviously, like there's probably here and there people, but
Steppenwolf is so much better. They actually bring in
design
Darkseid.
wise, yes, I would agree. Design wise, he is better.
Character-wise, it's the
He's a
same,
better
pretty
villain.
much. Same, pretty much.
Did you
Okay,
watch it, Matthew?
Yes.
Oh,
I
didn't know
can.
that.
He gets overshadowed by Darkseid. What, 3 minutes of screen time?
Yeah, Darkseid's only in the movie for like less than 3 minutes.
So Darkseid's
Ew.
a better villain within that time. You're telling me that
What do you
Steppenwolf's
mean he's
still
a
good
better villain? He didn't do anything yet.
He was still menacing, like Steppenwolf. I was like, eh.
That's because Darkseid just looks menacing, and the whole movie was built up to fear Darkseid. Okay, we should move on from the Snyder Cut because I'm
My
gonna get
point
really
is-
angry. I'm gonna get really angry, and I can talk about this for hours.
Probably.
And I
You
have.
want to talk about your Star Wars shit so you can just get all your aggression out now?
All right, Matthew.
All right, me and Ben against
I
Matthew.
don't even remember what my.
Star Wars fans suck.
Oh no!
Oh, that's your hot take? Of course.
That's not
We all
the hot
know
take.
that.
That's just the
Okay.
intro.
That's the intro to my hot take.
I just want to drill that into Matthew's head that they suck,
And I'm not a part of those fans.
and I am glad you're not. But in some opinions, you are.
Star Wars is still.
I
my
love Star
favorite
Wars. I love Star Wars a lot.
form of media.
Hold up.
I hate
Don't you
Star
shit
Wars
on
fans.
Matthew? Don't you shit on me for
I
liking the
shit on
sequels?
Yes, I do. But I'm
Okay.
talking about like as a whole. I enjoy
Can't
it.
disagree with him though. The sequels
I
are
know,
pretty ass.
But so are the prequels.
I agree with Matthew.
No, the
that I
prequels are also
enjoy Star Wars
ass.
as a whole.
Y'all
that-
can shut your mouths.
Okay, I just want to. I hate the prequels. I don't think there's a single good movie in the prequels, and I think it's bonkers that the prequels were shit on for like 15 years.
And then the sequels came out, and everybody was like, "Oh, these
No,
aren't that bad."
no. That's not what happened.
Green.
The prequels were shit on. The original fans hated the prequels, right? And then the Clone Wars happens, and everyone's like, yo, these prequels are pretty good. Because they had to make a 9-season TV show to make the prequels make sense.
Even 9 seasons.
7. That's still pretty
7
damn
seasons.
high.
That's not any better.
Listen, man, Disney XD knew what they were doing.
Didn't they though?
Cartoon
Time to make
Network.
some profit.
I literally
Cartoon Network made Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Oh,
They-
Rebels was on Disney XD, right?
Yeah.
and
And
Rebels
then
is not bad.
you had a whole show to make you think that the prequel movies are good.
To be honest, I didn't watch Clone Wars until I was a junior in high school.
It's factual information. I do know that for a fact.
Like, the prequels are just, there's nothing good
No.
about them.
No,
There is
Revenge of the Sith is a top 3 Star Wars movie.
No,
That's
it is
not
not.
even. That's yes,
okay,
it is.
the last act in each of those movies is the best part of those
Tell me-
movies. Everything else is garbage.
Anakin versus Obi-Wan is
That's-
easily the best character dynamics in the entire series.
Okay, hold,
Which
hold
is
up.
exactly what
You
I
wanna-
just
you
said.
wanna
It's
hear a
the
hot-
last
hold up.
act of that
Everybody-
movie.
You want to hear a hot take from that? I think the Obi-Wan and Anakin fight was not deserved in any of the prequel movies. It was not a good build-up to that fight.
I would agree.
Well, I don't know what you mean by not deserved. It happened. It was a deserved fight. It was
No,
emotional
no, it
stress,
was not. It was not.
political
It was not
stress.
deserved through the plot of all three movies.
Yes, exactly. But I said exactly why, because it's not political distress; it's emotional distress.
No,
That
but
entire movie, they don't care about the politics of them.
I'm not. No, that's not
Obi-Wan
the point
doesn't
I'm
care about
bringing
the
up.
politics.
It doesn't
Obi-Wan's
matter about
good.
politics. That's only like that. What? That's like 1% of like the first movie.
No, but you're saying that their fight doesn't make any sense for the plot of the
No,
movies,
I'm saying
right?
it didn't feel deserved because of how Anakin's story went. It
Bitch.
no, not because he's a bitch. It felt too fast for him to go from this to that.
His father, in this moment, he feel like his father figure is turning against him and taking his girl. Okay, father figure, brother, close person, feels like he's betraying him and then convincing his lover, his girl, to join his side. What do you mean that's not deserved? That's the most emotional
No, it is
distress
not
right
deserved because what is it? Anakin
takes
Anakin what in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? How long is that?
2 years.
2 years, and we only see parts of it. He has
Does Clone
nightmares.
Wars only take place in 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so you're telling me that Anakin begins to have nightmares and then talks to the counselor, then turns evil? That's pretty much how it goes, right?
Well,
That
they
dude's
also
like,
do
you don't know
explain
the
that.
lore.
Well, they also do explain that it doesn't take that long to get to the dark side if you commit to go to the dark side.
He is a
It's not like
selfish
Luke. It's not like Luke where he had thoughts of going to the dark side, but he went against it. Anakin went full on with Palpatine. He said, "I'm going to serve you." That right there is him joining the dark side. Of course, he's gonna have nightmares. Of course, he's gonna have all this shit because it's the perfect build up to him becoming evil.
He was also
That's why you don't
getting manipulated. You have to
that, and that's
remember
why we
that.
don't see.
No, hold up.
That's why
I
we
am
don't see
talking.
Luke
I am talking
have those
strictly the
nightmares.
movies. I'm not talking like the
Yes,
TV show or
he's getting
anything.
manipulated.
Do they straight out say I'm manipulating Anakin? Straight
Well,
up.
why would they straight up say we're manipulating him?
Because
Palpatine
Matthew's
literally,
Matthew's bringing up like
seen him
lore
manipulated.
comic shit because I already know what he's talking
No.
about.
No, I'm talking about the Darth Plagueis scene.
The tragedy of Darth Plagueis.
Yes, that's him. He was mind manipulating him the whole time.
Yeah, because isn't he
No,
telling
but
them like?
the thing is, you don't. That doesn't.
He's
It makes
always been
sense. Matthew.
He's always
and
been there to
Matthew.
manipulate Anakin after.
Matthew, it makes sense that he's being manipulated. Yes, I'm not saying that's the problem. The problem is, based off the timeline and how the movies are placed, it doesn't feel earned because of how.
Let me. This is my defense. I'm not refuting your opinion. I'm just.
That's all I'm
I'm
saying.
not
The way they
refuting your
wrote
opinion.
it doesn't make sense for how he became Darth Vader. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I am not going to refute your opinion. I'm just going to state you a couple of facts that earns him this fight. He saved his mom, right? Right there. That's an immediate.
No, he didn't.
You can.
No, he didn't. She died.
His mom is dead.
Okay, but he took him out of slavery. He took him out of slavery. Got like. Okay, he didn't save his mom, I guess. But I mean, he saved her in the sense that her son is no longer in poverty. She's happy. That's what she states. She just wanted Anakin to be happy.
That literally happened in the first movie when Qui-Gon was like, "I'm taking the kid. I'm not taking you, homie."
Okay. So right there, they build a connection, right? And then over the course of the next 3 movies, we see this connection build and build. He even tells, "Hey, man, like I'm fine with you going after Padme. Just be careful," you know. So they build this very brotherly connection. And then he goes and finds a new leader in Palpatine, which then Obi-Wan and all of them try to be like, "Hey, man, that's not a good idea." Well, they don't really say don't go after Palpatine, but they're like, they could tell something's going on, right? And then, like I said earlier, literally, what's the planet they fight on? Mustafar. Like, he's literally sitting there like, "Yo, bro, this is the dark side. Don't do this. Come with me." But then he's feeling manipulated. But at that point, he's so far into the dark side that he has no judgment. His judgment is clouded.
No, but what is it? There's a scene in either Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith. There's a scene in either Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith where he is talking and he's like, "I don't trust Palpatine" at one point because he's like, he could be the Sith Lord. But he also but he also doesn't trust Obi-Wan because he feels like he's being like a helicopter parent.
Oh, okay, but those are 2 different emotions. That's one being like, this guy's.
If you don't trust either of them, why would you? Why would you do either? If you don't trust either of them and you're feeling like neutral about both of them, why would you go do that stuff?
Okay, I have a question for you, Miles. Do you trust everyone in the food court to cook your food? No. Do you also trust a terrorist? No. You don't trust them, but they're two very different things.
That
So
is
this I just
no.
That is such a bad example.
No, it's not. No, it's
That is
not.
a bad explanation.
He says that Palpatine could be the Sith Lord, which is like the person that could take over the world, and he's also doesn't trust this guy that just talks to him 24/7.
Garrett's hot take is thinking that was a good example.
That was a perfect
No,
example.
it is not.
He's literally trying to commit terrorism too.
No,
Is he not? Palpatine, is he not? Is he not putting an attack on everything?
It's
not
treason.
terrorism, dictatorship.
Yeah.
Tyranny.
I mean, doesn't that have terrorism inside of it?
No.
I mean, they also okay.
Galactic Civil War.
We're just gonna end it with I hate the prequels. Matthew likes the prequels. Miles hates the prequels, and Garrett is indifferent.
No, I just like the originals. I think all the rest of them are ass.
The originals
except
are
for
the
Revenge of the
best.
Sith. Except for the Revenge of the Sith. I think
And
it
then-
goes. It goes. A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Empire, Revenge of the Sith, and then everything else is trash.
Even Rogue One?
Well, I don't really count those because they're not in the original 9.
You don't mean the Skywalker saga.
Okay, yeah, Skywalker Saga.
Okay.
I was gonna say, bro, like
Because I like the
So-
Solo and on those ones.
Yeah.
Solo was fun. Rogue
If
One,
the-
I don't really remember it, but
if the writing for Attack of the Clones didn't make like Anakin seem so like weird and creepy, it wouldn't be that bad
No,
of a
hold
movie.
up, hold up.
I think the
Let
prequels
me-
are
let me-
overrated.
Like, the
Let me preface my earlier point with this. If they wrote it better, I wouldn't be complaining
Yes,
about how
exactly.
Anakin fought Obi-Wan. My
The
main complaint
execution
is
is
the
poor.
execution is poor, and so his character arc didn't feel earned. That's what I'm trying to say. If it was George Lucas and many people
not
writing
have-
it, then I'd be okay with it.
George Lucas should not have written it on his own.
I think it is overwritten with the whole politics of Star Wars. There's so many plot points that are going on at the exact same time that it's just boring and convoluted and confusing, and you needed 7 shows to understand what all of it meant. Or 7 seasons of a show.
well, I mean, you can
And I
make the
just-
exact same argument for the MCU though.
only-
I got his ass.
No, you don't.
Wait, Garrett.
Ben,
Garrett, explain what you mean though.
Okay,
Ben,
this is what I mean. Okay, if let's say let's just say that the Iron Man movie didn't exist. Okay,
Okay.
we would not have this entire character development of Iron Man. Okay, so we
Right.
wouldn't have built with his character. We would have just seen him die at the end, which is still sad because he's a good character in the movie and we learn a lot about him. But the growth over the years of the characters and the stories and letting things simmer builds to the whole thing. What Star Wars did was they had a really shitty writer. You guys have really, really good writing, but you have to have so many different forms of shit coming out to get it. WandaVision had to come out. I mean, She-Hulk isn't a part of anything, doesn't connect anything, I don't think. Loki had to come out, though, to connect stuff.
Okay, hold up.
Moon Knight.
I don't
you know what I mean?
No, hold up.
understand
I understand his point, kind of, but if you're talking about from when Iron Man came out to Endgame, there are movies that connect to it, but there's
Avengers with Tesseract?
there's also setup movies. Doctor Strange is a setup movie.
Exactly.
I think it's a different thing because I don't think it's the same because the prequels already came out. That story was finished. Then we got a show to fit in there to make it make sense. Whereas Iron Man was the beginning and then the story just kept coming.
Ben, do you
What,
realize
Matthew?
that not ever like only season 7 like actually connects to the main storyline of what
But the
happens
whole
in the
show
prequels.
is what makes you
No.
like the prequels. That's what makes prequels fans
It's
like
literally
the
called
prequels.
the Clone Wars.
It's
Up
literally
until
just
then, everyone
stories
hated
that
the
happen between those two
prequels.
movies.
Everyone hated the prequels, and I guarantee you, in 10 years, we're gonna like the sequels. Because that's how Star Wars works.
Probably.
We're gonna get
I-
something to make the sequels make sense, and we're
We-
gonna like it.
We already got a show about that. It was like Clone Wars. It's called Resistance. It was not that good.
Okay, but
No
where,
one watched
no, hold up. Where did it come out?
I do
don't
remember that
It was,
show, though.
it was a Disney show. I
Okay,
don't even
yeah.
remember.
Was it on like Disney XD or Disney Channel or
I
whatever?
don't know.
I just remember it was like a weird silver background with the rebel with the resistance.
Was it like a weird
rebel sign.
skinny like art design?
Yeah,
I don't know. Kind of. Maybe.
I know what he's talking about. No one watched it.
Yeah, because it wasn't that good.
Right. And what I'm saying is Star Wars fans
Oh
are
shit! I
just
don't know that. Never mind then.
Mm-mm.
Star
Things
Wars
something way
fans are
different.
It's
so
on Disney Plus. Has 2 seasons.
consistently negative, and it takes time for people to enjoy it.
I just think I think this is just an opinion in general. I think fans of a franchise longer than like 3 movies, they all are toxic because there's so much media to come out that no one is going to like everything. Star
No,
Wars
no,
fans,
Fast and Furious fans, it's all the same.
well, okay, but no, but all Fast and Furious fans usually say they should have stopped at 5 or they should have
Right.
stopped at 7.
There's
You
not
know,
really
no-
much discourse in Fast and Furious.
Well, yeah, but I don't know, but like you have to really delve into it because I do know some couple diehard Fast fans that hate Fast 5 stuff.
But I think the
Oh, I gotta show
MCU
you a picture. I got 12 kills last night too. Huh?
MCU fans are on the verge of, well, not. I think we're on Star Wars level. Not me, but like there's some
Yeah, I'd
bad
agree.
MCU fans.
I'd agree. 'Cause, I mean, I think DC's up there too. But I think
Didn't
the
they do it-
exceptions are like James Bond. They don't really have that because there's nothing to really give discourse about. It's just one dude, his story.
You can really only say
Uh,
like you don't
John
like
Wick,
the
I don't really
actors.
see. Yeah, I don't really see a lot of discourse for John Wick because that's technically a franchise at this point.
Because
Mhm.
didn't the MCU fans do to the She-Hulk like CGIers to what they did to the Sonic ones?
No, they
But
didn't
they
know what
wanted to.
they didn't know what she looked like fully until like the trailers dropped. And think about it. Do you think Paramount's going to change the design of Sonic, but Disney, they're not going to give single fucks if some Twitter user is going to say change the She-Hulk design.
See, the problem with like comic book, when I say
Adaptation.
quote unquote comic book fans and adaptations, is all of these people say that they're day one fans of this character and then just shit on it, even though they know absolutely nothing. They're there to be negative because once Iron Man died, they hate everything.
Right.
And they are the most vocal beings on the internet.
Right.
Which is sad.
You know how many times you go into comments and you see positive things about news or anything?
Nothing.
It's
You never see it.
never. All it is negative people. They're the only ones that won't shut up about stuff they hate. If you hate it, just don't watch it. It's not that hard.
And don't talk about it, otherwise you won't have to hear about it.
Yeah. And the more you interact with it, the more you're going to get that stuff. And it's
Okay.
not fair to the people making the stuff
So
that you are.
So I commented on a clip saying, talking about how Tony Stark dying in Endgame was the end of the MCU. I said all these so-called fans honestly suck. Was this phase the best? No, but it's still entertaining. So saying it's shit is so dumb because it is far from the case. I have full faith in Marvel with these next upcoming projects because they have shown that they are fully capable of doing amazing things. So I mean, I hate the fact that people come into comment sections and like, oh, this is garbage, this is bullshit. But if you went to Kevin Feige, I guarantee you wouldn't say that shit in person.
Well, of course not. No one would. But like that's just the whole point of a keyboard warrior. So they just sit behind the screen and type whatever they want.
Exactly.
And they don't have to give a care about the word.
I've been very vocal. I've been very vocal to people about how I don't like certain fans like that, whether it be Marvel or anything. People who shit on things because they don't like some projects. Yeah. Did we just do that with Star Wars? Yes.
See, I don't know, but I think some things deserve it. Like, I think there's some things that are just so lazily done. Like She-Hulk definitely deserved the shit that it got because it was bad. It was a bad show. Like well, that's what I heard. I've never seen the show. I'm strictly going off of reviews. Okay,
it's a bad show, but it's the way they attack the show. They attack people on a personal level.
Yeah.
And that's what's so wrong. And we've seen that go so wrong with Star Wars that I hate seeing people go after the actor or the writers or the director personally instead of being actually critical of the content that's coming out. There's no thought in what they're doing. They're just there to talk shit on people because they think that's who's to blame.
And I honestly think that's just what comes with having a franchise because you get some great movies like we have seen before in Marvel, and then like Miles said, you get a couple shitters, and everyone wants to go crazy.
I mean, it's the four of us. We just had a whole discussion about the prequels, and we were actually critical about what was in the content and why we like or dislike it. But you take fans now, and they're just like, "Oh, that one writer shouldn't be writing anything for the rest of their lives. They suck." I'm like,
well, I mean, that's
well,
that's like mild. Like the writer probably looks at that and he's like, "Oh, damn, that's
Well, dude,
that's
I
mild."
mean,
but I mean, it just gets too
like
personal.
that bridge, that bridge shit is crazy. Like
Well,
that is on
also,
another level of like
Star
whoa.
Wars fans bullied a person enough to kick them off social media because they didn't like her performance in a movie.
They bullied the child actress for Leia. They bullied the what was her was it Reva or
Rose?
Black Lady?
yeah, the one
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Yeah, I saw
They
it, bro. She
bullied
was
her
getting
because she was
Oh.
black.
on.
They bullied the child actor for Anakin to the point where he quit acting as a child because they didn't like the way he portrayed Anakin.
They literally bullied the girl who played Rose and kicked her off social media because she was getting death threats.
Rose is the Asian girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Star
Wars
Wars fans suck, and that's exactly what's going to start happening with MCU fans, and it's only starting.
That's universal toxicity, pun intended.
That's what I'm saying. It is so personal. It's not being critical. It's just personal.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's because I think about it like this, is that you can sit behind a keyboard all day thinking you're an actual critic, but once you like actually learn this stuff, you realize that it's not personal. It's it's your enjoyment, but we are all film majors, and so we can tell if something's going to be like ass based off of certain things like framing, composition, and stuff like that. But people just sit behind a keyboard like, oh, that was ass because I didn't like it.
Okay, but I'm gonna defend the side of these keyboard warriors for a second. Not the ones that are giving out death threats and bullying people offline, but the other ones that are just like, this person sucks at acting. You have like Miles just said, we're film majors, right? So we have the advantage of knowing there's 60 people writing this movie. They've wrote this movie 6-7 times. What's like there's a 60-70 people set team behind what you're watching on the screen, but casual viewers are simply just watching what's happening on the screen. So obviously they're going to critique the people that they're seeing because that's who's to blame. But the other people, that's just to a point where it's like, okay, you're not even like you said, you're just you're just going after them maliciously. You're not even saying because I've definitely seen some actors that I enjoy, and then I'm like, yeah, you're fucking shit in this movie.
Tom Hanks and Elvis.
Yes, you know what I mean. Like, I don't think that's bad. Like, if I see that on a TikTok or an Instagram post, I'm not tripping. But if I saw something like, I hope you fucking kill yourself, I'd be like, whoa, buddy.
See, to me,
You
it's
don't know
like
too far there.
I think Tom Hanks did a bad job in Elvis. But I don't knock Tom Hanks for that. Like, the man has put out some of the best performances ever. He has like 2 or 3 Oscars.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Woody
just because you make
Toy Story?
one bad thing out of a whole catalog, it doesn't make you a bad writer, director. I mean, it's like when Love and Thunder
Everybody
came
has
out.
off days, man.
Love and Thunder came out, everyone shitted on Taika. But that's the only bad movie he's ever directed.
Yeah.
They went from loving him to making one bad thing, and they're like, this guy's awful.
Just because when people aren't pleased, they instantly go straight to just like negativity.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's like the best, not the best way, but that's the most common way of.
Well, because I think about it like this: is that we literally had a podcast where it was me and Matthew talking how we didn't like Love and Thunder, but we understood what went into.
Matthew loves Love and Thunder.
I don't love it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, but we were talking about like the negative
0.6
parts
says love it.
we didn't like. But I think you have to have a factual reason on why you don't like it in order for me to take you seriously. Because if you just say you don't like it because you don't like it, that's not a viable reason to me anymore. Because when I was younger, that's all I used for a reason why I didn't like something. But I don't like Love and Thunder because of, CGI
was
not even the CGI. Not even the CGI. I don't mind CGI a whole lot now. It's the writing and partial execution of the script.
Yeah, like Taika should not have had as much creative freedom as he did.
I don't know, but I think like if someone came out of the movie theater and they were like, I didn't really like that movie, and I was like, why? And they were just like, because I didn't really like it. I think that's a valid response. I mean, just something that the whole movie, I guess, just didn't appeal to them. But I get what you're saying. Like, oh, I fucking hated this guy's acting. Why? Just because I didn't like it. Then it's like, okay, well, why didn't you like it? I guess that's. But I don't really give it.
I really don't care
Yeah.
about people's opinions. It's just when they make them so vocal without anything backing them, that's when it becomes an issue for me. If someone comes up to me and says I didn't like the movie, I really don't care. But if someone goes on the internet and it's like, oh, this movie sucks, I just didn't like it, and then someone's like, well, why didn't you like it? And then they just get so defensive about it. And someone's just like,
didn't like it.
why
It's
didn't
my
you?
opinion.
I was
Dude,
just
I like
asking you
to-
a question.
I laugh at those comments just because I think it's so funny that like their emotions got to them so quickly. Like I'd like to say that I'm not a fan of talking about emotions personally, but I will if I need to. But it's so funny when people like over explain their emotions or they let their emotions take over and type out crazy long explaining paragraphs. You don't know who the fuck I am. Why the fuck like that shit? It's just like
Mhm.
that shit. It kills me because it's so funny because
Mhm.
they texted it, they read it over, they sent it, and they were like, "Yeah, I got his ass." And then there's dudes like me cracking up behind my screen.
Well, because
Ben, you're really. I sit there. I'm like,
You really
you're
got me
really
there,
that
bro.
upset to just go on Instagram and complain.
My favorite response though is I always just say, "Buddy's got the whole chat laughing," or "Buddy's got the whole comment section laughing," and it's so funny.
I just go in there. It's like anyone else watching this argument happen.
Exactly.
I
like
comment the
anyone else
popcorn emoji and like the laughing emoji.
One of my favorite instances of like fighting with a hater that was on Instagram was it was during June and DC had put out like their poster for like their Pride characters who are part of the community, right? And they have Constantine
Oh
on there,
yeah.
who is like one of one of the most notable LGBT characters out there because he is bisexual and has been for I think decades. And this guy's like in the comments and he's like, "Oh, DC is gone woke," and his picture and his username was Constantine and then like Constantine Lover 2014. And I like I went in the comments and I like this is the only time I've actually responded. And I was like, for someone who has a picture of Constantine and the name, I would think you would know a little something about the character. And he's like, shut up.
No, I think I don't ever get into beefs with people online. I just like responding. I don't even know what it was, but this guy just said some dumb shit, and I just responded with the clown emoji and the up arrow.
Yep.
Most premium thing.
That's
Keep it
great.
simple.
Exactly. I had another stroke there.
Uh,
Jesus Christ,
okay.
bro. My mouth's moving faster than my mind is. I was gonna say I have another hot take in the sense that I think that social. I don't even think this is much of a hot take either. I think social media is shit. Okay,
I would
okay.
agree.
Let me rephrase that. Okay, I think social media where people online can interact with each other is bad. Like Instagram as an idea is awesome. You can post
Stranger to
content you
stranger,
want.
you're talking about?
Well, yeah, but like Instagram as an idea is awesome. You can post pictures that you like. You can create a profile. You can share stuff to your story. You can follow famous people and your friends. But then when you get to like, there's people posting straight videos of girls' asses, and there's like weird memes, and like the comment sections are usually just insane. You go down there, porn bots for 70. Like, just you can
Yeah.
scroll forever, bro. And I think that's what's dwelling is because there's a lot of young kids going on these apps now, like a lot of young kids. And they're seeing porn bots be like, click on my link. And then they click on the link. But like, there's other apps like,
and then they get hacked.
well, yeah, but like, I think this might just because I like when I grew up, I was outside a lot and I wasn't talking to 40-year-old dudes on my fucking computer on if Blippi is a good YouTuber or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my nephews, I don't know. I used to catch them in YouTube comments, and I was like, "There's not fuck YouTube comments." Just because there's way too many weird people in YouTube comments, way too many people weird in TikTok comments, and I think that's really what creates the toxicity. Because if I saw a video that I didn't like, but I couldn't comment on it, that opinion would just stay to myself, or maybe I tell my homies in real life and we talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, on
But
TikTok, that's
well,
awful.
I'm just saying, like, I think I'm all for like getting your opinion out there. So commenting on TikTok is fine, but then it's like, I don't know. It's like you can't do anything about it either because you can't take away the ability to comment, but it's
Yes, you
the dudes
can.
that like come back. Okay, well, yeah, but like if I'm just like me, I post shit just to post shit. So imagine I had a little bit of following and I posted something and someone commented said blah blah blah, and then someone goes under and just shits on them. It sucks because it's like they have the ability to do that, but I don't understand why people feel the need to do that on social media, and that's what makes social media so bad. It's just getting toxic, and none of these CEOs are doing anything about it. They don't care about the porn bots, and they can, but they don't.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well,
it's just slowly rotting people's brains, and I'm finally getting out of it slowly. Except for I really fuck with Instagram. I really like Instagram a lot. I probably
Bro shits on it, but then also like,
well, I mean, you have to shit on it. It's a shitter of an app sometimes, but it's also fire.
I mean,
Instagram, it's a shitter.
if you give a
Everything is pros and
platform, if you
cons.
give a platform to toxic people, you just give them a voice to vocalize their shitty behavior.
Well, on Instagram, you can DM anyone you want.
Yeah.
As long as you press message, you can send an unsolicited dick pic to any person you wanted in the world,
And
they
Garrett
would get
does.
that message.
That's why I don't understand why people sit in Instagram like comment and argue for about 3 hours straight.
Dude, who's sitting there throughout their day? It's like, oh man, this guy finally replied to my comment.
Dude, you gotta look at
You have to look at the comments, bro. Like some have like hundreds of replies.
UFC comments are the funniest because it's all like 30-year-old dudes who just eat pizza and drink beer agreeing. They're like, yeah, this dude got his ass kicked. And this other guy's like, fuck you, this guy got his ass kicked. But they're like arguing in a fun way. And that's the shit I like. It's not a 14-year-old kid saying, listen up, bro, I fucked your mom last night. And then it's like, well, you live in fucking Idaho, dumbass.
Like, that's stupid.
Dude,
But
the
the
fun
first-
it's
Hold
funny.
up
Just-
to all of our Idaho
It makes going on
fans,
social media worse.
all one of you. We're sorry.
Fuck
not.
no, fuck Idaho. I hope everyone in Idaho hears that too.
Ohio, get out of
But
here.
one guy, damn,
Ohio, get out of here.
Except for the Idaho potatoes. Those bitches are bomb.
Whoa.
guy just sitting there. Damn, I'm out.
Unsubscribe. But dude,
Bro, get it. The news line for tomorrow on the 6 o'clock news is Dorm's podcast member Garrett Deary is on strike by all state of Idaho.
Garrett is canceled from hating Idaho.
It's like it turns out some real important dude lives in Idaho and just shits on my life.
All Idaho people are boycotting Idaho potatoes because Dorms likes them.
so I send videos to our group chat about like film stuff and like other stuff like that.
And like edits of fonts.
Edits of fonts, stuff like that. But I honestly think that if
The rotation.
there's people on the internet who buy a camera and just shoot stuff because they have the money to do it.
Yes.
And so I don't think
Where are you going with this?
I'm going with this here. I'm bringing up Garrett's point of how social media is shitty because people can grow a following for doing super stupid shit like that.
Yeah, bro. Dude, this dude has 170,000 followers. He just posts, edits, or he posts clips of fucking comedy shows, which is, and this is my pro and my con of it. It's amazing when it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm watching Dave Chappelle clips.
Oh,
But
like actual stand-up comedy. I was thinking like clips from The Office, Friends.
They do that under gameplay.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, I do. I watch it all the time. But it sucks coming from someone who wants to create content that someone who just posts clips is making more of a following than I am. Is that where you're kind of coming from, Miles?
That's what we got to do. Is we got to post nonstop Family Guy clips for like a month, and then we start posting our stuff.
No, what are we doing, bro? We literally just have to animate ourselves, make an animated show for a month. Don't post any of the episodes. Just post clips on TikTok to be like, look at this funny ass show.
No,
it'll never come out.
Miles, hear me out. We take a Family Guy clip, right? But we edit it to where it's our voices under the characters, and we just sneak in our podcast over a Family Guy clip or a South Park clip.
Miles, cut this out. This is a genius idea.
This is a business idea.
Do not let Seth MacFarlane hear this. The lawsuit might come a little earlier than we thought.
He's gonna steal our audio. Dude, I know for a fact in the next season of Family Guy, they're gonna put in a TikTok joke like that.
No, dude.
Probably.
In this latest season, I saw what are those things? A preview for it, and they mentioned TikTok and like shit like that. I'm like,
bro.
Well, I know they're gonna mention TikTok, but they gotta put in a clip of like Subway surfers or something under it.
Dude,
Like-
okay. So the last 2 episodes of South Park that just came out for the newest season are hilarious. But the first one, Kyle
my
and Tolkien start making TikToks, and
it's like
Stan
Oh, I saw that
Stan,
clip.
and Stan gets jealous. So
They're
Cartman
doing
goes out
like
of his
some anime shit.
well, yeah, but Cartman goes out of his way to convince everyone that Kyle runs Hollywood because he's Jewish. Then on Valentine's Day,
Kanye moment.
dude. Wait, hold on. Then on Valentine's Day,
Oh no.
by the way, Cartman also has a Cupid hymn, but he changed it to Cupid Ye for Cupid Yay. So then Kanye pops up on a screen, and he's like, and his
it's
Cupid
Cartman.
guy.
It's
Oh,
Cartman.
it's Cartman in a mask, but it's supposed to be Kanye. And Cupid Ye is saying oh yeah, like Hitler isn't that bad of a guy, and all this stuff. And Cartman's like, whoa there, that's not what I'm saying. He goes to the school, and Cupid starts shooting everyone with Nazi arrows, turns them all into Nazis, and they go to kill Kyle. It's just
And
Jesus
Butters-
Christ.
Oh yeah, and then Butters is like, "Are you fucking serious, Kyle? Out of everything, you pick Mario Brothers? Mario Brothers?" He's freaking his shit, dude. It's a trip. It's a trippy
It's
episode.
wild.
It's
episode,
like-
and so is the second one.
Well, people. Okay,
Dude, the second one's fucked.
my point from earlier is people can just buy a camera or edit something
Yeah.
quick on their phone and get
Yes.
thousands of followers when people who have film degrees and are actively trying to inform people on their stuff don't.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier to post random bullshit because of that.
An
Mhm.
actual like entertainment.
Yeah. It's quick entertainment that you can get money for because you quickly put it together.
Man, you made that real personal.
Yes, I did.
I was
Follow
watching with
us,
you, and like, man,
please.
people with film degrees, we suck. I was like, damn. All
Well,
right.
think about it. There are people online who are using tutorials, be like, this is how you use this kind of camera. If you want to know how to use a camera, Google it.
My fault.
That's what they did.
No, I'm saying
That's the whole point of the videos.
No, it's not. The whole point of the videos is it's a fucking easy thing to do. We can post a thing on how to use a webcam, but people who
Right.
are watching the video can just go to Google and look it up if they really want to know.
Yeah, and then when
Yeah.
you Google it, you get the videos.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well,
That's
well, I mean,
exactly,
think about
dude.
it.
I've done
but
that like 6 times this week because I got a new camera.
Well, think about it though, Miles. Like when you started this stuff, you were Googling and YouTubing stuff.
No, but what I'm
This
saying
is
is
Miles's hot take.
I'm using Google, but I'm not going to TikTok, looking up stuff on there and seeing this 30-year-old dude with a beard telling me how to use
Well,
a
what's
webcam.
the difference? What's the difference?
Is that they're using it as a quick thing. But if I
Some
go to the
peop- some
company's
people are
website, if I go to the
Some people
company's
are
website to
visual
do
learners when it comes to this.
it, websites have pictures, dude.
Yeah, but
And
YouTube
videos.
has
Okay.
videos.
But like, it's just convenient to go watch a 4-minute video on how to use Canva or a 4-minute
The
video on how to do
thing
this.
is, I'm talking about not just that stuff. That stuff can be whatever. What I'm saying is if somebody can buy a
Actual
$1,000
equipment.
camera and buy actual equipment and say they're a filmmaker and say they're like a music person or whatever, and then
But they
make
are.
subpart. No, they're not. A SoundCloud rapper is not a musician.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. They're not. I'm not classifying that as a musician, dude.
That is a hot ass fucking. That's the hottest of the night. Because music is anything that reverberates sound, right?
Dude, I don't
Basically,
call
that's what
myself
it's
a
You're telling
I
me
don't
I
call
can.
myself a photographer, but I grabbed a camera and went and took pictures, so I'm technically a photographer.
No, you're not.
Okay, now that's just no. SoundCloud rappers are musicians because they release
They're
music,
not,
they
like,
mix
actual
music, they
artists.
write music, they sing the music. They do
They're
every process that
legitimate artists.
yeah, because they do the process that Justin Bieber did, that every other musician did. So what makes them not a musician? Because it's a SoundCloud rapper? They're definitely still a musician.
I don't understand Miles's
But
take
who
here.
uses SoundCloud now?
Well, that's not my point. Is that like anybody can say they're anything because they post that weird ass bullshit on TikTok or Instagram or wherever. But unless you know exactly what you're doing and exactly how you know what to use it for, then I don't classify
Right.
you as that thing. Because people can say they're like filmmakers or musicians on these websites, but just make
But wait, what makes
some-
them not?
their experience in doing stuff. You can make YouTube videos, but that doesn't mean you're a filmmaker.
Well, if they're not categorizing themselves as a filmmaker, then they're not.
No, but there are people who categorize themselves as filmmakers and make YouTube videos.
Okay.
That's my point.
I don't understand your point.
Because if you're going to categorize yourself as something, then back
You think
yourself
you
up
should be
with,
good at it?
yes, you should be. That's the entire point.
Why?
Because you can misinform people on how to use and do those things exactly.
If you're not selling your skill and you're bad, but
Would you not say that putting stuff up on TikTok, getting thousands of followers, but classifying yourself as something that you're not, is that not misinformation?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Yes, you do. I literally just said it's misinformation.
Okay, if I'm not a photographer, right? That's not my thing. But I take a picture. I'm
You can still
technically
take
doing
pictures.
photography.
You can take a
But you're
picture
not
without
a
being a
legitimate
photographer.
photographer.
There is a
But it's
difference.
technically photography.
Yes, but you're not a photographer.
What's the
You're
difference?
not getting paid for the profession.
You don't have to get paid for it.
Yes, you
Usually
do.
people would want to,
That's
but
not what makes a photographer a photographer.
Damn, we're still talking about this?
Yeah, because
Okay.
Ben was talking about
Because
photography.
Miles's take, I don't understand. But what I'm saying is, if I pick up a camera and take a picture, I might not call myself a photographer, but what I'm doing is photography, so I'm technically a photographer.
Well, I mean, me and Matthew did black and white photography last semester.
So that technically
this is-
makes
okay.
you a doing photography.
I think it's opinion. I think it's opinion based because I didn't consider myself a photographer.
no.
because I was doing it for a class. But I can understand where you're coming from in the sense that if you go out and you take a multiple set of pictures, you are doing the task of photography, which would class you under the title photographer.
Exactly.
I completely understand where you're coming from, but it's just opinions at this point.
Exactly. I
It's
wouldn't
not-
call
it's
myself
not
a
right or wrong.
photographer because it's something I'm learning and I'm not selling myself for it as a photographer. But what I'm doing is photography and being a photographer.
I mean, my whole thing was I just think what Miles said about
Gray area.
SoundCloud rappers not being musicians is just wrong.
I think anytime you're doing the task that is labeled the task, you are that.
No, that is not at all what it is.
But again, it's just opinions though, because
But
I mean,
Google
Ben's gonna
literally
say that
specifies it
Miles-
as Google specifies a photographer as somebody doing that
Webster
for a
Dictionary.
job.
Okay, but I mean, Google also has Google Translate, and it's 98% wrong.
If you want to go to Webster, it says the exact same thing.
What the hell is
Okay.
Webster? We're just simply going off of people.
Dude, I made a
That's what I'm
joke about
saying.
Webster's dictionary because Miles started it out like that cliche paper starting of Webster's dictionary describes, and then he went for it.
Huh.
Literally, somebody who makes business off of taking photos is what a photographer is.
Okay, that is the actual description of the job.
That's the job.
But there's also the thing of like me, I'm a filmmaker. Have I ever made a real film? No, but I'm a filmmaker.
But have you been on a set making a film?
Yes, I have. But I've also
Exactly.
been out with a real camera taking pictures that I could have sold, which is photography.
But
which
did
can
you
be
sell them?
classified as a photographer. No, but I didn't want to though. That's because I wanted to keep them.
Someone who
But there's
does
photographers who take photography and they don't sell them. Lonnie, my teacher.
But
And
does he make money off of anything besides his
actual
job at
photographer.
school?
Yes, he's an actual photographer.
Then
Miles,
there you go. He's an actual photographer then.
say someone
But it's-
sings and plays guitar and they make their own music. They don't release it. Are they a musician?
If it's not released to the general public, it is not a musician.
Why?
Okay,
What
okay.
would you call them?
Was Beethoven making music for the general public?
Yes,
he was just
people were-
making
no.
music.
People
Yeah,
were
that's what-
literally watching him perform.
'Cause
Okay,
he's, like,
yeah,
the only one that did.
okay. But that's the thing is, but he didn't release the music, right? He just played it, like Ben was just saying. He didn't release it to the general public as a single.
Two people. That is what
Okay,
I'm
but
saying.
isn't that the okay? But if I made a song, I could show it to you guys. That's the exact same thing he did. I just didn't release it.
Gray area.
Gray area,
If you
as Matthew
if
just
you are
said.
if you are a boxer and you're not in like professional fights or in matches, but you just do it to exercise and you
You're
might
not a
spar
boxer.
with people.
You're not a boxer.
You might spar with people. You're technically a boxer.
No, you're not.
No.
You are
Now
exercising.
no. Now that is different because that is physical combat.
Right.
That is you're hurting someone. There's people that are considered boxers because they're doing that. They're deciding to hurt people. And then there's people who use boxing as an exercise, or maybe they tap around with gloves or the friend, but they're not. They don't have the intent
Okay.
to hurt people.
Maybe boxing's a bad example.
See, that's what I
It's
say.
like bowling.
Bowling. Everything else.
Say bowling. You might
Yeah.
bowl, and you're technically a bowler, but if you don't do it professional,
No, sports is it gets weird with sports.
Yeah.
what bowling?
Because then
Bowl a lot, and you might
because
maybe you don't do it as a
okay.
profession. You're still a bowler.
You could be
Yes.
in a bowling league, but you're like.
But sports it gets weird because the terms get loose. Because when you think of basketball players, you think of professional basketball players. You don't think of the kid down the street, right?
Yeah.
When you think of boxers, you think of professional people.
Just because
When you think of photographers, you think of anyone who could go take a picture.
Let me use your logic here. We are not filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
We have not made
Right
money.
now,
Yes,
no.
We are not filmmakers, right?
technically in that aspect, yes, we are not. I say we are, but we're also not because we're not doing it
But why?
professionally. Oh shit! Because it's not professional.
Right now, I do not classify
what-
myself as a filmmaker. I
but you
classify
just-
myself as a film major.
But then you just agreed with what I said about photography.
No,
Okay,
I didn't.
well,
I said if you're using it as your main
well,
source of income, do we make films as our main source of income? No, I don't classify myself.
You just classified yourself as a filmmaker. You just said that.
When did
Yeah.
it?
Well, okay.
When did I?
This summer
20
when we're
seconds
talking
ago.
to people.
You
I
did
don't know.
just say you were a filmmaker, Miles.
Yeah, you did. I'll give you that. Okay, but this summer, when we go to talk to people, are you gonna say I'm a film major, or are you gonna say I'm a film
No,
major?
I'm saying right now I'm a film major. Like,
Okay, but when we
So
graduate, we're
you
still
also-
not gonna have stuff out. We don't plan to have stuff out for a while still. But we're not
See-
gonna classify ourselves as dudes that possibly want to make. You would say a filmmaker
we
because,
are future
that is our-
filmmakers.
but that's our profession.
But we have made films.
Yeah, we are filmmakers. That is our profession. Just because we're not making money off of it doesn't mean it's not our profession.
Well, because it's not. Our professions are our jobs that we're currently making money at. Ben's profession is a grocer.
My profession is
Bro
not
keeps doxing
switchboard
me.
operator.
Yes, it is.
My profession is not a
That is-
switchboard operator.
We want to be filmmakers as our career, but that is currently not our profession right now. It's career.
We are film.
I'm going based off of money things. Yes, I've classified myself as a filmmaker before, but we're not making money off of anything.
Okay, but money aside, we're still a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Money aside, someone
That
that
doesn't mean anything that we haven't done.
yeah, exactly. I mean, money aside, you go take photos. You could consider yourself a photographer.
You can, yes.
Yes.
I'm not saying you
Especially-
can't.
okay,
I'm not saying you
especially
can't
if you've
consider
been-
yourself that, but I'm just saying professionally, you can. If you make money off it, you can call yourself that. So technically,
Okay.
are we phonies?
Why can't-
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. No, this is what I'm saying. Is over the course since I've taken black and white photography, and even before that, I've really liked taking pictures. You scroll through my camera roll, you're gonna see tons of pictures from outside. I don't consider myself a photographer just because I just don't call myself that. But I feel like I could because I've been doing it for 6 months and my pictures aren't bad, right? That's what I'm saying. You could say that because I'm doing the task of a photographer and I've been doing it for so long that I could consider myself a photographer. And you would see the evidence and you couldn't refute it. But just because I'm not making money off of it shouldn't mean that I can't go under the title photographer. You know what I mean?
Because
that
I'm not
feels like
saying you
it feels like
can't.
they're
I'm just
taking
saying
away.
if you want to go underneath the actual definition, being paid would make you that specific job. That's what I'm saying. You can call yourself
you're
whatever
just-
you want to.
You're just going off of the book. That's what you're basing it off of, right? The
Eric,
book.
would you
Like the-
consider someone who releases one song on SoundCloud? That's it. Would you consider them a musician?
yes, because they made a song.
Yeah.
They
Technically, they're a
wrote
musician.
lyrics.
One song.
They wrote lyrics. Have you ever wrote a lyrics to a song? They made a beat. Have you ever made a beat to a song? Have you ever mixed a song?
I've
No,
done all
those are
three
things
of
you've never
those.
done. Those person made a song,
No, but
released
they made
it.
one song
Miles,
and
you could
that's it.
but they released a song.
It doesn't matter.
Dude,
quantity.
okay,
They don't.
the dude
what
that
if they
makes
don't make
silent-
any money off of it.
The dude that made Silento, he is a musician and he is a one-hit wonder. And no one will say he's not a musician because he's not even a SoundCloud rapper. He is a musician. You know what I mean? They made a song.
I think
People who make one-hit wonders, yes, I would consider them musicians. But people who make one song and get no
So what?
listen
Okay,
to,
my question is, what is the difference between Silento or a one-hit wonder and someone who's made a song but has no views? Just because he
Because
makes money, he's a musician, and this guy isn't.
yes.
How?
because
Explain that.
one's
They
a
make
hobby,
money,
the
it's
other
like
one's
that.
your
on what side
job.
Matthew's on.
One's your hobby, one's your job.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you. Okay?
Photography is your hobby right now.
I wouldn't consider it a hobby. It's just something I do. Okay, I guess that is
That
just
is a hobby.
I guess.
Yeah, that's
I
the
guess
definition.
it's a
but
hobby. I guess. But
What
yeah,
about
I'm
like
not gonna.
being an
But I'm not gonna
artist?
call.
You might draw and you're really good. I would say you're an artist, but maybe you're not selling your work.
What would you call that? Okay, so what would you call this SoundCloud rapper if he's not a musician?
It's
He's someone who made a song.
it's somebody who has
Yeah,
a
but what's the
hobby.
title? What's
Yeah,
the
what's
title?
the title? They have to
A
have a title.
hobbyist?
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
You don't.
As a
You don't
hobby,
have to have a
as
name
a
for it.
hobby, I
It's a
make
hobby.
music. As you can say, as a hobby, I make music, and that's it, or music, or
Okay.
whatever the hell you want to call it.
But what's the
Okay,
difference in saying I'm a musician?
Okay,
I'm
no,
an
this is
I'm an
okay.
aspiring musician.
Here's a better point. Here's a better point, Ben. Let's say someone says my hobby's making music for 6 months, and then one day they decide to release a single and it makes some money. They instantly turn into a musician because of the profession. But what
Yeah.
happens that they didn't release it and they kept making these good songs that apparently would make a lot of money? Isn't that a musician?
Or is it
Because
ever
they're making
released?
good.
If you make more than one song, yes. But if you don't make money,
No, it's a problem of if it's ever released. You're saying if they don't ever release it, but it's good music, then you can't qualify yourself as a musician because it's never been heard by anybody or anything like that.
I don't understand
like,
why it
how would
has
they
to be
know if
I
released.
don't think this is going to go anywhere than where it is right now.
It's
It's
not,
just
no,
running in circles. I think me and Ben are on the similar wavelengths, and obviously Matthew
Yeah.
and Miles are. Because
See,
I'm
but the thing
still
is,
very
I thought
confused what
Matthew
you guys
was
are
on
thinking.
our side for the beginning of it, but these last couple minutes, he just randomly switched over to Miles's side, and it confused the
Yeah.
Oh,
hell
I've
out
been
of
on
me.
Miles' side from the beginning, but I was also like, it's a gray area. Like
Yeah.
it depends, because like
Well, because I
someone who
think I brought up.
releases one song and doesn't make any money isn't a musician, but someone who makes multiple songs but doesn't release them is a musician.
Okay, is our buddy who makes music a musician?
Chris, yes,
No.
or Tanner.
Yes.
Tanner, yes, he's a musician because he's been
He's
doing it
never
for
even
like
released a song.
But he's working on like his third song now, isn't he?
He's never even released. Tanner has never released a song, and he is a musician. But
I
you're
just-
saying someone who makes
no.
song. You're
I
saying
just-
people who make songs that don't release them aren't
someone who-
musicians.
No, I said someone who releases a song and doesn't make any money off of it isn't a musician, is
So
not.
Tanner, who hasn't even
someone who
recorded a
is-
single lyric to a song, you're calling a musician.
Okay, but he's made several beats, hasn't he?
So that makes you a
For
musician.
different
So
songs.
you just refuted your own
But
point.
no, I'm saying the people who
Hypocrisy
make
is crazy.
Garrett.
I think
people who
I still
make
think you have to be
one
paid for
song,
it.
release it, don't make any money. They only make one song, one beat. That's it. Not a musician.
Okay, but my thing is,
people who make
he's
multiple
still
beats and multiple songs but don't release them are.
I don't believe. I
Okay,
don't
but what
agree
I'm
with
saying-
that bit though. You have
Okay,
to make
my
money
thing-
off
my thing
multiple
is-
songs in order to be a musician. In my
thing
eyes,
is-
on SoundCloud.
My thing is, as a person who releases one song, they've probably made a bunch. Tanner's gonna release one song, and he's gonna have to wait to release another. So he'll only have one song out. What's the difference between someone who
but
releases one song and doesn't get money? They still did
someone
the
who
exact
releases
same
one
process
song-
that Tanner did to make his music. That
One
means they're
person
both
who makes-
musicians.
No, well, a person who makes one song falls off the face of the earth, like you never hear from
Okay,
them again.
I don't know what
Not a
Matthew's side
musician.
is on this point because I still think that doesn't make sense to me. Making
We're
multiple
on three
songs.
different sides here.
Yeah,
No, I'm in the middle between your
making
guys.
multiple
Like, I'm in the
songs
middle.
but not releasing them. I don't think that makes you a musician.
Matthew's on numbers. Miles is on pay. Garrett and I are on practice.
If you can
I'm
can practice
in
something all
between.
you
I'm saying,
want.
like,
If somebody
if you
can,
make
mean,
one song-
somebody
No,
can
no,
take
no,
a
not
crappy picture.
practicing something, but you're doing the practice.
So if
Like
I'm
the practice
practicing,
of photographing, not practicing like you do for sports, but the
well,
practice of actually doing the
obviously,
job.
well, you're practicing to do that thing. But if you're practicing and you're still shitty
No,
at
no,
it, I
no, no,
can't
no.
qualify you as that
You don't-
thing.
You don't understand the word practice as I'm using it. You know, like a doctor's practice is their job.
They're practicing.
photographer,
You're using
you
it
always
in
improve.
sports. You're going to improve
No.
upon it. Almost, you try to improve upon
No.
it.
So like
But their job is already doing the practice. Like your
Yeah, like-
practice is in orthodontics.
yeah.
What?
You're not practicing orthodontics as in you're trying to get better. You're doing the job that is practice.
I think you're using a word in a
I
different
understand
definition than
what
I'm
you're
saying.
I think
saying.
you're
I understand.
using-
I understand what you're saying, Ben. But you have to You have to practice, so you have to use your experience of it to further that thing. That is what I'm saying. You can post something and make it better later on, and then I can consider you that because you're using your mistake or your first product to make something better. But if you just release on SoundCloud and then you're done, then that's not a musician.
Okay. What about someone who's been doing band since middle school all the way through college, and they just do it because they love to do that? Are they not a musician? They know how to play probably.
That I literally was saying. They
See, what's funny, Garrett, is I was going to use that same logic like 3 minutes ago.
I literally said they could do multiple songs and be a musician.
I think I'm just.
I still don't understand.
I gotta be missing something.
I don't understand that logic that Matthew has. I don't understand that.
I don't.
I literally said I'm in between, I was like, I'm on between the fence.
Matthew's on numbers, Miles is on money, and you and I are on practice of actually doing something.
I'm in the middle. I'm saying if you don't make any money but you release one song only, that's it. You're not a musician. But people who practice and like keep practicing, like pushing forward, doing it multiple times over, is a musician.
Because they're improving upon their craft.
But how many people release one song and only do it one time? Probably no one.
A lot of people on SoundCloud.
Yes.
If you're using SoundCloud, you're trying to become big.
Yeah, and if you're using no, but like SoundCloud is for people like that. These high schoolers, these 14-year-olds. But I mean, I think you guys are picking the smallest piece from it. Like the 50 people who make one song and it doesn't make any money, so they stop.
Yeah, so
I get that. That makes sense, duh, because they're just doing it to get money. But we're saying someone that makes music consistently, makes it once, but has.
Okay, so let's say someone takes their phone out to film a video, like real quick. They film that video, be like, "Oh, I'm a filmmaker," and then there's us who like have been practicing it for years.
Were they trying to make a film, or were they making a video?
It could be a video, but they say it's a film.
Okay, that's where I was going earlier. That makes sense now.
And that's just they're just using the wrong term.
And then
that's literally all that is.
Like actually trying to like push to his career.
A film is like a story.
Also,
if they're just making a video of something, that's not a film.
All I heard was you said that if someone records a video on their phone
and they call themselves a filmmaker,
right?
What was the video?
Like it has a story, but like
so Noah's thing that has a story that's recorded on a phone.
He's a filmmaker. He's trying to push towards being a filmmaker.
Okay, but it's on the phone. So what if he wasn't a filmmaker? What if he was just a high school student?
He's not a film. Then. There's a difference between like a story that is giving not new information, like telling us actual story, like Top Gun, versus like someone being like, there's a difference between that kind of story and the story of someone telling you how to use something.
Is Stakeout a movie?
Right, because
is Stakeout a film? Stakeout is also a YouTube video.
Yes,
because it has a narrative story.
If a video is there to teach you something that you didn't know, that is not a narrative.
I never said narrative for that is a video. That is what I said.
That is not what you said.
I said an informational video that you didn't know about. That is not a film. That is what I said.
Yeah, you asked me if I would consider that a film, and I said no.
Okay, there you go.
We were talking about how the fact that you guys were saying videos that are beginning, middle, and ends aren't films if they're on YouTube.
No, that is not what I said.
Someone telling me how to use this mic is different from like.
Yeah, that's a video. That's an information. Yes. That's an informational video.
It has a beginning, middle, and an end, though.
But it's not a narrative. That's just facts.
Mm-hmm.
A narrative is a story. A beginning, middle, and end is just how things work. A song has a beginning, middle, and end.
I'm talking about like story-wise.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a story and a narrative, it is a film.
But
if it is a video telling you to use a pocket knife that has a beginning, middle, and end, that is an informational video, and that is not a film.
Exactly.
There is no characters. There is no story. There is no progression of anything. That is just
story, though. It is telling you how to use something.
Okay, but like you can. Story. Okay, but you can use that exact same. You can use that thing for everyday life. The morning is the beginning. The afternoon, the middle is the middle. The night is the end.
Beginning, middle, and end. I'm talking about like story-wise, beginning, middle, and end.
There's
What?
no
But
story in a video that
commercials
teaches
don't
you
have
how.
stories, or
I'm not
YouTube
talking
videos don't have
about- Yes,
stories.
they do. Because they could be like, okay, guys, today I'm going to tell you how to use this. Open it, like, blase,
Okay,
blah.
hold up. In Matthew's
Talk about
example,
it.
technically you can setting Matthew's bedroom. Character, Matthew is the character. The goal is to sell you on the product that you are trying to tell them about.
Miles don't.
Exactly. That is
You're
what is
literally right. That's why. That's why you don't want to hear it then.
That stuff that just it's just dumb logic, because in a one sense it makes sense, but in the overarching of everything, it just is stupid.
but
That's
but think
yes,
about it.
okay.
In a video
My
like
bad.
that,
This-
it would
Okay,
do
cool, you
that,
agree.
right?
Awesome.
The podcast is not a story, yes. But like an informational video, yes, that it has a story elements to it.
What is the story?
To
But wait, but our
inform you.
podcast, we start with the intro, we end with an outro, and we have
I'm
a
not
beginning and a
talking
middle.
about like legitimate middle and beginning and end, Garrett. I'm not talking
I
about
don't agree with
timeline.
Matthew's
beginning.
point over here. I don't agree with that part.
Don't understand it. All right, we're
I
not
think-
getting anywhere.
We should go to the game.
Yeah, let's go to the game. We're already at like 2 hours.
If anyone watched all the way through to this, you are a real G.
Say you hate
And you should
Idaho.
and you should DM us on Instagram, because we would love to shout you out, just because that is sick.
And give us your opinion on this discussion.
Because I think I might be going slowly stupid.
Because I don't even know what the real argument here is.
Dude, I swear to God, what did we even start with?
I don't know.
Miles brought
We
up
talking about how people on
making
Instagram
videos.
classifying themselves as this thing aren't because of blah blah blah.
Okay. Game time. Who's on game?
Matthew.
Hey, we're playing keep or trash again.
Keeper
We are
trash.
perfect.
Yep. So it's movie genres, just so you guys remember.
Okay.
I was gonna move them around, but never mind. So starting off with comic book movies again, we have Deadpool 1 versus Spider-Man 2 from 2002.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Okay, I
know
would pick
that's a hot
Deadpool as
take.
well, but yes, Spider-Man, yes, it's great, but Deadpool is just
I just like Deadpool more.
yes, exactly.
Ryan Reynolds is just great.
Okay. Then we have mafia movies.
Okay.
Scarface versus American Gangster.
Oh, Scarface. Easy.
Scarface, yeah.
Scarface.
I haven't seen either, but
I
don't
thought I
even
was
know-
waiting for Goodfellas or something.
Yeah, that was gonna
We already
be
did
Goodfellas or, like,
Goodfellas.
The
We did
Godfather.
Goodfellas last time.
Oh yeah.
okay. This one, Film Bro. This one's gonna be a little controversial for Garrett.
Okay, interesting.
Dark Knight versus Fight Club.
Dark Knight.
Ooh.
The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight.
I'm
Hmm.
gonna go The Dark Knight because it does have one of the best acting performances of all time. But I love Fight Club.
The complexity of the Dark Knight.
I mean, I haven't seen Dark Knight, but I'll probably.
Dude, we
Dark
talked about it the other day for like 20
Oh my
minutes.
God.
I know, but see, the thing is, I know of the story, so I'll probably just pick Dark Knight
Yeah.
anyways because of, as Ben said, the
But I
acting.
would like to
performance.
I will say it's
But-
close. It's real close.
I don't know about real close for me personally, but I will say that Fight Club is it's in the conversation of
Fight
where
Club
it should
is-
rank.
Fight Club is good.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It just proves more that Brad Pitt and Christian Bale are the best of the best.
Some of the greatest actors. Okay. Next up, we have fantasy. We have Narnia and Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth.
I'm gonna go Pan's Labyrinth.
Honestly, I thought you were gonna go Narnia there, Garrett. I thought you were gonna just
No.
have the childhood.
Who
you
the,
come
okay, no offense,
I
but who
hate
the hell is
Narnia.
picking Narnia?
I hate Narnia. That shit is ass.
out, probably me in like 2008.
Right.
Bro, but it's you in 2023.
Exactly. Okay. Next up is sci-fi. Dune versus Avatar.
What you doing?
Dune.
2019.
Oh, it doesn't even matter. Avatar. I'm so sorry. It doesn't
Dune.
even matter.
Avatar. I'm picking
Dune.
Avatar. Ben,
Easy.
I know you don't
Dune.
like Avatar. I knew you were gonna pick Dune.
Dune is just also a better movie.
Okay, and then
Debatable.
our final category is space. 2001 Space Odyssey versus Interstellar.
2001.
Interstellar.
Visually, I'm going Interstellar. Story-wise, Interstellar. 2001 was confusing for me.
Oh,
2001.
shit.
Simply just because of what it did for the culture.
Yeah.
I respect the movie.
Miles,
I need to finish it.
Fuck,
But
dude.
the dude has 12 minutes of monkeys.
Okay, but
That
Bro,
is
I
quite
promise,
long.
it makes sense, bro. It makes sense.
yeah,
I
I'm
know,
on the
I'm
same
I'm
track
sure
as
it
Garrett.
does.
2001: A Space
But I've gone
Odyssey.
30 minutes into that movie, and God, am I
Yeah.
bored.
Yo,
Oh,
you
it's
gotta, like,
so
it's
boring and
no.
then confusing.
It's a fucking death wish watching that movie. God
Oh my-
damn, it's like watching paint dry. But when you get to the end,
It felt
holy
just
shit, it's
as
worth
long
it.
as
Oh,
Dune,
it's
yeah.
worth it.
To me, it
It's
felt
worth
just
it.
as long as Dune 2020, right? Was it 2020 or
It is,
20?
dude. It's just like not
2021.
even that long of a movie.
It's like
It just
It's really not.
minutes.
drawn out.
Dude, I just remember for some reason falling asleep, waking up, and thinking that we were almost done. And you guys were like, no, bro, we're only 15 minutes in. And I was like, fuck.
Well, dude, 'cause me and you were like
Yeah,
falling
Dune's
asleep,
only like
wake up, and we're like, "What's
barely
happening?"
over 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But it felt like it. No offense, it felt like it was 4 fucking hours long.
But isn't that crazy? That's like the norm now. Like 2.5 hours is like average.
I love
Yeah,
2.5
Dune was
hour
only
long movies.
235.
That shit is crazy.
See, though, I
Honestly,
like
with a
those
lot of
movies.
movies that are less than 2 hours lately that I've been watching, they feel longer than.
Like 2001 is shorter, but it feels longer.
It's just
Yes,
it's just
very
the
much.
power of pacing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is very accurate.
I'd agree.
We
There's only
say a lot about pacing, but we like it makes sense for stories like 2001 because of how drawn
There's
out it
almost a
feels.
20-minute difference between them.
Holy shit!
But 2001 just feels so much longer.
It's because 20 minutes of monkeys.
Yeah.
that, and then like the first part before the moon, I'm like, what is going on? This just makes no sense. Because
Well,
it's like business people talking.
well, dude, he
I
also just has
also
shots of him just walking.
Yeah.
I also just like the longer I've thought about it, I like Interstellar. Besides that one plot point that you guys know I hate,
Mhm.
I think it's a really good movie. I think it's overhyped.
Fair, I'll accept that.
Understandable.
Just that
Anything else on that?
one
But why
plot
would
point,
why
man.
would but why would the hype determine? Why would the hype factor into the way you look at the movie?
No. It doesn't affect the way I look at the movie. It just everyone said it was like the best movie ever, and I watched it, and I don't feel the same way. So I think everyone's opinions is higher than mine. It doesn't affect the way I think it. I just, from an
Okay.
outside view, people think of it higher than I do.
All right.
Dude, I feel like Dean Winchester over here with the
Huh.
flannel and the necklace, and then you guys can't see it, but I'm flipping a knife.
Yeah, I keep messing with mine. But
I broke my
That it?
Superman action figure, so I've been fiddling with knives.
well, because Garrett, you brought up last week that the hype for No Way Home affects the movie because of the hype surrounding it, and so it's like, I understand your side for this week and last week.
Yeah.
They both
Who?
make
Mine?
sense. Yeah, because you said hype
Yeah.
hype can affect a movie, but then you're like, I don't understand how the hype
Yeah.
affects Interstellar.
Oh.
Yeah,
To me,
Okay.
it doesn't affect anything. I just see it as two different perspectives.
Oh, I think I don't know, for Spider-Man No Way Home, I think what I meant for that was like the hype can only last so long for the movie because it like I think it's the way you come into the movie, like what's the word for it? Expectations, right?
Yeah, I
It's
think
like when the hype,
what
your
you're
expectations are fucking insane. But I think for Interstellar, I don't remember seeing any hype, but this is the way I can assume it happened. It was just like Ben was saying, they say it's the greatest movie of all time. So you got to think like this shit's gonna be insane, and it's an original story. But with Spider-Man, it's 45 plus years, so it's a different types of hype.
it's like you take Spider-Man, that's more you're excited for the experience, whereas
You know what you're getting.
the expectation for Interstellar was this is a movie that's already been made and people have talked about it. My expectation was this was supposed to be great, and I think it's very good. I just don't think it's great. Where Spider-Man was like, this is something you have to see and it's going to be great. And so we were excited to see it, not excited for how good it was going to be.
So wait, Ben, did you say it was overhyped or not rated, overrated or overhyped?
I'd say it's a little bit of both. But again, I still think it's a very good movie. I just don't think of it as fondly as other people do.
There are probably movies that are like that.
Pulp Fiction,
Oh,
I
definitely.
think it's a fine movie. I don't think it's as good as
it's
everyone
not.
says.
Exactly.
We've talked about this. We've talked about this one too many times.
That's
I
kind
think
of a
you guys
hot
already
take
know
from
my
us, Ben.
point.
Yeah,
I guess I could.
Hey, we were
I
talking
guess
on the pod though.
we're already so far down, man. We should have talked about it. Maybe a different day, because I
Yeah.
could talk about Pulp Fiction for hours.
Well, I could talk about Star Wars. I could talk about anything for hours.
Well, okay.
I could
This
talk
is a
about
weird
how good Pulp
question.
Fiction is for hours and how you guys are wrong that it's bad.
Well,
You're
no, hold
wrong.
up. We're not
I
saying it's
also think
bad.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is boring and is the weakest Tarantino movie that I've seen.
We can finish the podcast there. We'll leave the audience to discuss that one.
Well, hold up. I have a question for like the final like hot take. Who do you think is the most overrated director
All time.
all time?
Probably Michael Bay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be opposed to that one.
Probably Michael Bay. Maybe what's his name? Not Jude Law.
Kenneth Branagh.
Judd.
No, Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow.
Why the fuck did you know exactly who I was talking about?
Because when you said Jude, I'm like, what sounds similar to that? Judd?
Judd Apatow. I haven't really seen anything that's like blown me away from him, and I hear his name a lot.
I'm gonna say Kenneth Branagh.
Maybe guy.
4-1 sucks, and
this
The
one's-
Orient Express also sucks. Same thing with Death on the Nile.
Maybe this one's a little hot take, but maybe Guy Ritchie.
Oh, Sean's
Guy Ritchie has a
coming.
very
Sean's a lot
specific
from him.
taste.
Exactly. Because that's
And
why I don't know.
I'm not his cup of tea. I thought
You
you were
know
gonna
who
say like Jordan Peele, and I was gonna be like,
Oh,
nah,
yes, very much so. He's in the top 5 for me, for sure. He's my 5.
overrated or sucks.
Overrated.
Oh, damn.
I don't think he sucks. I think his direction's amazing. I just think his movies are ass.
We have this one every week.
I think he creates shit content.
I think mine is Stanley
Get us outta
Kubrick. I
here.
think mine is Stanley Kubrick.
Okay, that's a little
That is hot
exaggerated.
take.
I think
That's
that's a
a
little
hot take.
exaggerated. You don't like Kubrick?
No, I think he's overrated, but I like his movies.
Oh, okay.
I'll say
I
that.
thought you were just straight up saying that you thought his movies were shit. I was like, I swear you fuck with The Shining.
I literally,
Okay, Miles.
it's
All
Ben,
right, let's
homie, not me.
Or yeah, Ben, get us out of here. Take us to another dimension.
We can go on for hours still, but finally we've come to an end on our hot takes.
This is why we made the podcast, though.
Yeah,
2
once again, we
hours.
did a bit of a rebrand. We are now Red Light
Red Light.
Pictures on all social medias. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Dorms is still what this podcast is called. We are just under the banner of Red Light Pictures. But
And
thanks
not
for
Dorms
listening.
Entertainment.
Tell us your hot takes in the comments, but also say that you hate Idaho in the comics.
In the comics.
Comments.
I hate Idaho comics.
I hate Idaho
Same.
comics. Later, boys. Have a good one.
Bye.